because a third party is running the search doesn't mean he trusts it.
There's a lot of dog and pony show where, hey, no, we really value your opinion, and then they don't even use it.
An accusation Gwinnett School Board Chair Adrienne Simmons says is false.
It's not a decision that our board wants to make in and of its own.
The hearings months after the board fired Superintendent Calvin Watts without giving specifics why. Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta-based Delta Airlines and Aeromexico consider their next moves after the White House revokes antitrust immunity that had allowed them to work together.
The White House removed a provision that allowed Delta and Aeromexico to plan and price flights together. The change takes effect in January. The Trump administration said the airlines are the predominant competitors operating between the U.S. and Mexico City, giving them an unfair advantage. Delta said ending its joint venture with Aeromexico would hurt not just U.S. jobs, but also consumers. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
And the average cost to own and operate a car has fallen over the past year in the U.S., but a new report finds it'll still cost you almost $12,000 per year.
The overall purchase price for the cars have come down a little bit, as has fuel costs for the past year and the finance charges.
AAA's Greg Brannon admits the price to own a car remains much higher than past years, but the decline from last year is good for consumers. It's 9:03. Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start on the roads. Triple team traffic. Here's Smiling Mark McKay.
Still a big crowd working out at Duluth and Norcross. 85 southbound from Highway 316 past Jimmy Carter Boulevard and Pleasantdale Road inside the perimeter. It's been stacked up on 85 approaching Claremont Road, exit 91 for that slow ride into Midtown. 400 still feeling the pain between Alpharetta and Roswell, leaving Old Milton Parkway. 575 much improved, and I-75 out of Marietta, right lane delays anywhere from the South Loop Delk Road area down to 285. Watching Highway 78 leaving Stone Mountain, Ashley Frasca.
Crews are going to continue that tree work and road work today, and they're setting up in the right lane. Just be aware of a few delays on Highway 78 westbound before you get to Mountain Industrial Boulevard. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy through this afternoon. An isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible. High 86. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. High 87. Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds. High 88.
67 degrees right now in South Fulton. 67 in Loganville. 69 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. 95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends. A beautiful Tuesday morning in Atlanta. Mark Arum and crew with you for the next 3 hours. A humongous show, not the least of which the 5K a day bonus blitz in 1 hour. I'm going to give you a keyword, a chance to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to go to D.C., complete coverage of the Charlie Kirk assassination. The suspect will be in court today. Our legal analyst will join us live. Immediate reaction from Scott Slade, who's going to join us live at 10:35. Very curious to see what he has to say about the Kirk assassination and what we might see in the courts today. I want to start, though, a gut punch before the show started, Deborah Green. We have lost a Hollywood legend. Robert Redford passed away at the age of 89. Shocking that he was 89 years old. Certainly didn't look that old, but man, Robert Redford, I mean, you talk about Hollywood icon. He is it, like one of the most impressive careers in front of and behind the camera in movie history. Just look at some of the films he's been in. Jeremiah Johnson, The Way We Were, Great Gatsby, All the President's Men, Out of Africa, Sneakers, A River Runs Through It, Spy Game. I mean, any one of those movies would make a career, and he was in all of them. To me, though, as a baseball fan, he will forever, ever be Roy Hobbs from The Natural. Not only is it one of my favorite movies of all time, but it is the greatest baseball movie of all time. I'm going to pay homage to Mr. Redford throughout the show here. Rest in peace, Robert Redford, 89. I want to get confirmation that The Natural is the greatest baseball movie of all time. So joining us live on the show, former professional baseball player Jeff Duncan. Mr. Duncan, Lieutenant Governor, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning. And yes, The Natural is really good, but I think it's tied with Bull Durham.
Okay, if you said Sandlot, I would have hung up on you, Lieutenant Governor, by the way.
No. Bull Durham. I spent 6 years in the minor league, so I'm sympathetic.
Yeah,
towards
you're right.
Bull Durham.
That's a strong number two. I would be both of those acceptable answers, the natural and Bull Durham. Well, obviously, we're not here to talk baseball. Breaking news: you heard the announcement live at Atlanta's Morning News. Former Republican Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan is now running for governor as a Democrat. Mr. Duncan, when did you make this decision?
Well, our family's been processing this for a number of months, and I've spent time listening to Georgians all across the state. I've spent time listening to Democrats, independents, and disgusted Republicans. And my summary is that there's a pathway to win here. There's folks that want to have common sense decision makers that are able to focus on the issues that matter most and not get distracted by Donald Trump's toxic leadership style or the fringe issues. And for me, that's what we're going to stay focused on throughout this campaign.
Mr. Duncan, if you could, move 3 feet to your left. We're getting a weird cell signal from you. We could hear what you say, but it was kind of garbled there. Entering the race now, we've already got some established Democrats have entered the race for the governor's mansion. What separates you from the candidates that are already in the race?
Well, I think first and foremost, I can win. I can beat a Republican for the first time in 27 years. The last time a Democrat won was 1998 with Roy Barnes. And it's for one simple reason: Democrats have not gotten enough votes. I'm the only candidate who can show up in November of 26 and get Democrats, independents, and those disgusted Republicans to show up and vote for us. And that's what I'm laser focused on. Look, we're all going to have resumes that talk about things that we've done in the past, and certainly I'm going to highlight mine, and others are going to do theirs. But I've been working hand in hand in that legislature and in the state capitol with Democrats and Republicans to build consensus on big issues like rural hospitals, hate crimes legislation, improvements to education, giving teachers pay raises. I've been working together across the aisle for a long time, and I'm excited to share those stories with Georgians.
3 more feet to the left, Lieutenant Governor. We got most of that, but at the end it tailed off there. You famously switched parties from Republican to Democrat. Are you worried that your fellow Democrats in the primary might use, what you did as a Republican against you in the Democratic primary?
Well, I certainly will. And look, I've got to continue to work hard to earn the trust of Democrats across the state. I can't control what my opponents do. I can only talk about what I want to do for Georgians. I want to focus on delivering affordable child care to women trying to go back to work. I want to give better access to health care to millions of Georgians who are in the process of losing health care because of the not so big, beautiful bill. I want to work on affordable housing. I want to continue to grow the economy. I'm going to be forward-looking in my mission, and I'm not going to take the bait of playing toxic politics. We're watching the dangerous, tragic effects of that play out across our country, and I'm going to stay focused on trying to help and solve the problems of Georgians.
I'm glad you brought that up, Lieutenant Governor, because you might be best able to answer this question. Being a former Republican and now a Democrat, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, your immediate reaction to the assassination, and what do you think about the political climate right now?
Well, it's tragic. I mean, it's unbelievable to think somebody is murdered in cold blood because of just political speech. We should never be in this environment. I continue to just shake my head at people that want to play fingers at the opposite side. I think everybody's problem. Both sides are guilty of raising this toxic level of political conversation, and that includes Donald Trump. His opportunity after this tragedy should have been to heal and rebuild the country and lead by example and get people back together. But instead, he's used this as a moment to only point out the left and call out only the issues that highlight his side. There's a dead legislators from Minnesota. There's Paul Pelosi. There's other folks on the Democratic side that have also suffered tragedies. Look, until we have leaders willing to lead by example, we're going to continue to see this toxic environment get higher and higher and higher.
Former Georgia Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. In case you missed the breaking news announcement on Atlanta's Morning News, Mr. Duncan running for the Democratic side of the governorship here in Metro Atlanta. Is it a safe assumption to say, Mr. Duncan, that you are a moderate Democrat?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, from what I understand and what I sense is there's a huge groundswell of folks that fit the category that I'm in. And that's somebody who wants to stay focused on the issues that matter at my kitchen table and your kitchen table and those folks listening. They want to be able to run their businesses. effectively and efficiently. They want their kids to get quality education. They want their streets to be safe. They want their state government to operate and help when needed. To me, that's what I'm focused on, and I think a majority of Georgians are focused on the same thing.
That being said, as you I mean, you've got some stiff competition in the Democratic primary, right? State Senator Estevez, former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. Where are your votes coming from? Are your votes coming from moderate Democrats, independents, left-leaning Republicans? What's your sweet spot in the primary?
The answer to that is yes, to all the above. I think we've got support coming from all angles because I think for various reasons. A lot of people align with me politically and policy-wise and don't want to live in the fringes in the campaign season. There's obviously a group there. There's a number of folks that want to wake up and win. They want to wake up in November of 26 and for the first time in nearly 3 decades win. And the time is now. And I think the opportunity to put a quality style of leadership on display that has the courage to stand up to Donald Trump. Look, doing the right thing will never be the wrong thing. That's our family motto. And I certainly believe this is an instance that has motivated me and my family to take this step.
I know Republicans in the state of Georgia want to avoid a bloody primary because, you don't want to spend resources and you don't want to, lobbing grenades back and forth from candidates on your same party. Are you hoping for and maybe bloodless is a bad word to use, right, but a civil primary with you and your Democratic rivals?
Well, let's just be honest. The Republican primary has to do with one thing, Donald Trump, and whichever candidate fits best on his sock puppet hand. That's it. Donald Trump is going to handpick who this next governor nominee is for Republicans, and that's and is what it is. And if you want to wake up in November of 26 and Donald Trump be your default governor and be in charge of our schools, our legislature, our budgets, just because the Republican nominee hands the keys over, then so be it. But I think a majority of Georgians don't want to see that happen. And look, iron sharpens iron on the Democratic primary side. I look to have conversations and debates and forums to be able to get everybody's perspective. I have respect for all the candidates that are running. It takes a lot and a lot of courage to run.
Final question for you, Lieutenant Governor. What's the Duncan campaign look like? Are you going to be traveling the state? Are you going to release endorsements either from left, right, center folks? What's the campaign look like ground level for you right now?
Yeah, I ran statewide before, and I won. And the lesson I learned there was hard work pays off. We got 159 counties. We've got a unique story. In Georgia, we've got urban, metro, rural, and they all have different challenges to face. And so rolling up your sleeves and going to work every day, we'll be traveling the state east to west, north to south. And we're going to get, we're not only, like I said earlier, we're not only going to try to gain the votes of folks, we're going to try to gain their respect. And I think that's important.
All right, Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan. Sir, congratulations. Good luck in the race, and I really appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks. Have a great day.
There you go. Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, I believe his first radio interview after making that big announcement today. I apologize for the Lieutenant Governor's cell phone was kind of going in and out, but I think everyone got the gist of what it is. As an observer who's going to interview every candidate, I'm just curious to see because Jeff Duncan has a national profile. I mean, there's no denying that. President Trump, famously not a fan. He did switch parties. I'm sure there's a lot of angst on the Republican side of the aisle toward Mr. Duncan. He's appeared on cable news. I think he was made many appearances on CNN. He's a national figure. So I'm very curious to see if President Trump is going to post anything about this, what Governor Kemp might have to say about Jeff Duncan's candidacy, and certainly what his Democratic rivals are going to say. Deborah, I got an email from the Estevez campaign. I'm just going to read this. Georgia for Jason's statement on Jeff Duncan's campaign launch. In response to former Republican Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan launching his Democratic campaign for governor, George for Jason Communications Director Ada Ross released the following statement, quote, "Georgia women won't forget." And then there's a picture. It's a screenshot of a Channel 2 story that says Governor Kemp signs heartbeat bill. And right behind Governor Kemp is Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan when he was a Republican. So early indication of how his Democratic rivals are going to view this candidacy. They're going to try to tie him to his Republican roots. But very, very important announcement there. How might this change the dynamic of the race for the governorship on the Democratic side. Tomorrow on the show, political analyst Stephen Lawson. We might ask Scott Slade this. He joins us live at 10:35. But coverage throughout the day. Again, the breaking news you heard on Atlanta's Morning News, you just heard it from his mouth. Former Republican Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan is going to run for governor as a Democrat. Big political story here in the Peach State. All right, again, I'm heartbroken. I know a lot of you are. Robert Redford, in case you're just joining us, passed away at the age of 89. I'm going to play some Robert Redford cuts throughout the day. The best baseball movie of all time, The Natural, and one of the greatest movies of all time. Rest in peace to Mr. Roy Hobbs. Complete coverage of the Charlie Kirk assassination. We're going to go to D.C. for the latest. We'll go to Utah as well, as the suspect, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, will make a court appearance today. Right now, however, we got to check that Tuesday morning ride live to the traffic center. Hello and good morning, Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Watching a rolling work crew right now in the left lane, 285 eastbound the outer loop, getting past Moreland Avenue, exit 53, really causing delays quickly. 2 miles back, starting at Jonesboro Road, exit 55, and looks like they're going to continue rolling slowly in that left lane, maybe getting up to I-20, so watch out for the delays to continue to grow, and seeing the delays form as you leave Stone Mountain into Clarkston now with right lane roadwork set up once again. Highway 78 westbound at Mountain Industrial Boulevard, that's in a right lane. This report is brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, and even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my word!
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 10 a.m.
Hey, y'all, it's Belinda Skelton, and many of you know I've been talking about the amazing folks at Four Seasons Home Care for quite a while now. So many of you have asked me questions about if home care is right for your aging parents. So I brought in my expert, Deborah Barron of Four Seasons Home Care. Okay, Deborah, the main thing that people ask me is, how flexible is home health care? Do I have to lock into a long contract?
There's no binding contract. We just have a service agreement that you would sign, and there's nothing that locks you into a plan. So we try to be flexible to follow the needs of your parent. Some of our clients start with just a few days a week, and I think that's a great way to ease into things.
Now, Deborah, I know that my parents needed a lot of care. They needed 24-hour around-the-clock care. But I'm sure some clients only need help preparing meals, things like that. How does Four Seasons Home Care deal with that?
Yes. So a big part of our process, and I believe the most important one, includes a home visit from our registered nurse. And she is going to sit down with your family member and go over everything and see exactly what you might need. Some people may just need a little bit of care, and others may need more in-depth, hands-on care. So they are brilliant at laying out a plan of care that's tailored for each situation. And I think you really need that kind of customization to ensure your parents get exactly what they need.
Folks, if you have aging parents who are clear that they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, I cannot recommend enough the experts like Deborah at Four Seasons Home Care. It's 100% free and is such a crucial step in getting your parents what they need for their care, and allows you, the child, to do your role, and that's just love them and be there for them. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey, you spotted your termite guy strolling around the yard. Is he just getting his steps in? Does he even know where your bait stations are? Mark Aram here. Ask them to show me the bait stations. If they can't, it's time to switch to Breda Pest Management with a complete liquid barrier, not bait stations, plus early detection both inside and out. And your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
No need to be afraid of bugs.
This is Scott Slade with how a short phone call can change your life for the better. Take a few minutes and call MyLend and see if there's a way to put money in your pocket every month. There's so many options with MyLend. Here's an example. One of my friends at MyLend is looking at a reverse mortgage for his mom, who's 82. She's currently in a house that's paid for and too much to take care of by herself. So they're considering a reverse mortgage by selling her current house, then buying a smaller one by only putting 50% down and then putting the other 50% in her bank account, essentially trading homes and putting a couple of $100,000 in her pocket. If you or your parents have a similar situation, call MyLend, where the guys and gals there will put together a plan that's just right for you with no obligation. Call 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's mylend.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee 148769, located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we're fixing the unfixable. Combining the use of robotics and an endoscope, our expert neurosurgeons are performing spinal fusion surgeries more safely and effectively than ever before, with smaller incisions which lead to quicker recovery times for patients. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Win or lose, I'd have been satisfied. I'd have walked away from baseball and I'd have bought a farm.
Nothing like a farm. Nothing like being around animals.
Fixing things.
There's nothing like being in the field.
Robert
by yourself.
Redford, Wilford
The
Brimley in the greatest baseball movie of all time, The Natural. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Mr. Redford passed away at the age of 89. Deborah, I would have, in case you just missed it, we had Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan on. He announced his candidacy for governor as a Democrat, the former Republican lieutenant governor. And he played baseball at Georgia Tech and 6 years in the minor leagues. If he had said that The Sandlot was the best baseball movie of all time, I would have hung up on him. Longoria was
hoping.
Longoria was hoping
he was going to say
no. I was like, no, I need this interview. Don't say Sandlot. Don't do it.
I was so praying that he was going to say it. I was like, man, that would have been the best.
I would not have been able to live with myself if I didn't hang up on him. But he said Bull Durham, which is an acceptable answer. Let's get more on the passing of Robert Redford, truly a legend in the entertainment business.
Role came in 1969 when he co-starred with Paul Newman in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I'll jump first. Nope. Then you jump first. No, I said. What's the matter with you? I can't swim! Why, are you crazy? The fall will probably kill you.
Redford and Newman teamed up again in 1973's The Sting, and that same year it was Redford and Barbra Streisand in The Way We Were. Redford went on to win a Best Director Oscar in 1983 for Ordinary People. Asked once about the Oscar race,
If you're talking about a race, the Oscar race, that I have no use for.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Yeah, so he passed away, according to his family, out in Utah at Sundance. Yeah, the mountain area where he held the Sundance Film Festival. And I went there a couple of years ago for Thanksgiving. I have friends that lived out in Salt Lake City, and they took us to dinner at his place up in, I mean, he wasn't there. He has a restaurant there. And it was snowing. It was beautiful. You might remember the story. I thought we were going to die driving up this mountain in a blizzard with my buddy who grew up in New York City and didn't get a driver's license until he was 35. And you're driving, I was like, we're done. We're going to fall off. Anyway, we made it. I never did get a chance to meet and or interview Robert Redford, but I mean, I'm famously have said that Harrison Ford is the greatest movie star of my life. I might have to amend that because without Robert Redford, there's no Harrison Ford. And Robert Redford was also a director, Oscar-winning director. River Runs Through It. Gosh, that's tough. I know he's 89. That's a full, amazing life, but man, gonna miss Robert Redford. If you haven't, I mean, everyone's seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. A couple of under the radar, and obviously you should see The Natural. But Jeremiah Johnson, you'd love that movie, Longoria, if you haven't seen it. Love Jeremiah Johnson. Sneakers, fantastic. River Phoenix was in that before he passed. And the last one is Spy Game with
I love Spy Game.
Oh, so good. So if you want to catch up on some underrated Redford films, I would do Jeremiah Johnson, Sneakers, and Spy Game this weekend. Rest in peace to Mr. Redford. All right, Judd's got news, weather, and traffic in under 3. When we come back, back to Utah, not to cover Robert Redford, but to cover the Charlie Kirk assassination. We'll get reaction from D.C. as well, as the suspect's going to be in court this afternoon. And don't forget, going to give you $1,000, giving you a chance to win $1,000 5K day bonus blitz. I'll give you the keyword after the 10 o'clock news right here on 95.5 WSB.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well. And I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, watching this morning's developing story, a major blow for the prosecution. President Trump's alleged involvement in election interference here in Georgia. State Supreme Court declines to hear an appeal from the Fulton County District Attorney.
The court's decision effectively closes any avenue for DA Fonnie Willis to continue to have a role in the case. It also means the appeals court ruling will stand. That decision bars Willis from the case due to an undisclosed relationship with then Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. The case against the president and other alleged co-conspirators could still proceed with other prosecuting attorneys, though it is unlikely any case against the president would resume until after he leaves office. DA Willis issued a statement saying she disagrees with the high court but respects the legal process. She is handing the case over to the Prosecuting Attorneys Council. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It is currently 70 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says some of us could see pop-up showers later today. Otherwise, mix of clouds and sun, high in the mid-80s. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Hearing reaction from Hollywood following this morning's news that Robert Redford has died at the age of 89.
I'll jump first. No. Then you jump first. No, I said. What's the matter with you? I can't swim!
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid with Paul Newman launched a string of iconic roles stretching from the 1960s into the 80s.
I'm Bob Woodward of the Washington Post.
There was All the President's Men in 1976 about Watergate.
Steve Kathan notes Redford was also an Oscar-winning director and the driving force behind the Sundance Film Festival, along with several environmental causes. 4 years after first being touted as a major economic development here in Georgia, groundbreaking will finally be held today on the massive Rivian plant east of Atlanta. It had been delayed for years because of opposition from residents near the plant site. There's also some criticism about major tax incentives for the electric vehicle maker. Governor Kemp has touted the job opportunity opportunities at the plant, which is expected to begin making vehicles in about 3 years. Awaiting the first court appearance today in Utah for the man charged with fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk. And comes as evidence shows Tyler Robinson appeared to confess to the shooting in an online chat just hours before he surrendered to police. Anna Schechter reports we could also learn more today about the investigation ahead of that hearing.
There is a press conference scheduled at noon Mountain Time where we will likely hear if more charges are filed.
That'd be 2 p.m. Atlanta time. So far, no clear motive to the killing has been announced. And U.S. consumers may finally get an interest rate cut from the Federal Reserve this week.
The question is, how much? Lee Baker, president and CEO of Claris Financial Advisors in Atlanta, says he expects a 1/4 to a 1/2 point cut.
This Fed has been following the data.
He says the bigger surprise on Wall Street would be if there's no cut at all. But even if rates go down, Baker does not think mortgage rates will necessarily follow suit.
The mortgage rates that we get are more closely tied to the 10-year, right? So it's not a direct correlation.
He expects a bigger impact on credit cards and other consumer debt in the short term. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Could have a big impact on Wall Street tomorrow as well. It's 9:33 as we check your money today. All major indices are up slightly for your Tuesday. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start in the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
And Joe, watching a rolling work crews in the left lane, 245 eastbound as you get past Moreland Avenue, exit 53. That's causing some brake lights as you leave Jonesboro Road, exit 55 on the south side perimeter. And heads up in Brookhaven, live look at the jam cam. Buford Highway southbound shut down right now at Briarwood Road due to a crash involving several vehicles. Large response by Brookhaven Police and Fire Department. You can use I-85 or even Peachtree Road as wide alternates to avoid Buford Highway southbound shut down at Briarwood Road. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today with an isolated rain shower possible. High 86, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 87. Sunshine and hotter temperatures on Thursday, high 88.
70 degrees right now in Alpharetta, 71 in Riverdale, 70 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
We've all been
Jam
there.
starting at Langford Parkway.
Counting the minutes before we know we're going to be late because we couldn't count on a traffic app.
Jam from I-85 down towards Ponce. There is one thing you can count on. Triple team traffic on WSB.
Stay slow once you're inside the perimeter as well.
We know the highways. We know the streets. And we know the shortcuts.
75 northbound heading up to Cobb County through Marietta and Kennesaw.
And all you need to do is listen.
More experience.
More reliable. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Triple team traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
The civilians are being used as human shields by Hamas. They've always done it. That's why they hide.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio landed in Qatar this morning. Still to come, we'll update the Israel-Hamas war. Next, though, in-depth coverage of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We go to Utah in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
The integrity this company has is amazing. They are just unbelievable, start to finish.
Meteorologist Glenn Burns loves his Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows from North Georgia Replacement Windows.
They made everything so easy. The planning, the installation was flawless. Just a perfect job, and now it just made such a difference in the house.
Infinity from Marvin Replacement Windows, yeah!
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Just search FGA Roofing to get started with a free quote today.
It's Chris Chandler here, and I want to tell you about something that made the look of my house absolutely pop not long ago, and that was having Wise Guys Pro Wash over to do their magic on the house, my driveway and patio, the roof. They even cleaned the curb outside so the whole property practically looks brand new. And they didn't blast the yuck away with any high-pressure big box store washers either. Wise Guys uses only the best equipment in the business. They soft wash everything. That means it's safe on your paint, your trim, your siding, everything. My home, from top to bottom, from the front and in the back, looks brand new, and the crew couldn't have been more knowledgeable or energetic. You, give Wise Guys a try. One call, a quick quote, next day service. They don't even need anybody home while they're there. Do what I did. Get your place ready for fall entertainment with Wise Guys Pro Wash. Mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Book today at wiseguysprowash.com.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting.
Oh, excuse me. I was just taken back to a middle school dance there. Richard Marx turned 62 years old today. This is 80s hit Right Here Waiting. Vinny Drip, youngest member of the Core Four. Have you ever heard that song before?
No.
Never heard it?
Never heard it. Richard Marx.
Yeah, I remember dancing with Paula Peters to this song in middle school. Anyway, speaking of Vinny, very glad to welcome Vinny back. Deborah, we lost Vinny yesterday to jury duty. And I was talking to assistant program director Chris Crawford after the show, and he thought Vinny was going to get seated in a high-profile jury. Like there's a bit, and he's like, we might not have Vinny for 3 months.
Yeah, he sends me a text and goes, hey, you might have to plan out for it. I'm like, what? No.
So I was so surprised when I saw Vinny here because we thought you were gone for 3 months. And Vinny's like, no, they dismissed me. I talk too much. That's what he said. Anyway, welcome back to Vinny Drip, Vinny Bag of Donuts, down south Vinny. All right, continue our team coverage of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I should remind you that at 10:35, we're going to be joined by Scott Slade live. He is going to give us an update on his thoughts about that horrific assassination. So we're going to hear from him in just a second. And of course, I cannot find that audio now, so I am not going to be able to play that. But I will tell you, we are going to be joined by Anna Schechter from CBS. She is going to join us in just a couple of minutes. She is the crime and beat reporter for CBS News. We're going to update the latest information on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and the suspect's going to be in court today, and so is Luigi Mangione. Remember that name? That's a blast from the past. Yeah. Mangione is going to be in court for the first time in a long time. Let's jump in with Carter Evans in Utah with the latest on the Charlie Kirk investigation.
A Discord spokesman and 2 law enforcement sources told CBS News an account appearing to belong to the suspect claimed responsibility for the shooting in a group chat around 2 hours before his arrest last Thursday. Writing in part, quote, "It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all this." The messages were first reported by the Washington Post. Discord has said it hasn't found any evidence that the suspect planned Kirk's assassination on the platform.
All right, so that's CBS News correspondent Carter Evans. Let's go to Provo now. Danny Freeman in Provo, where that court hearing is going to be held.
It's just fascinating because we have learned so much over the past 24 hours about this case about 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, the main suspect here in the killing of Charlie Kirk. And yet Utah officials are promising that we will learn even more information later today during a press conference and then ultimately during that first court appearance. But I want to run down some of the things that we have learned, especially touching right off on that apparent confession that was reported by the Washington Post. That was really a stunning report that was dropped yesterday afternoon. The Washington Post reporting that hours before Robinson would ultimately be arrested and taken into custody, he was in one of these group chats in the social and gaming app Discord. And I'll just repeat that quote, John, because it's just so striking. He apparently told some of the people in this group chat, quote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I am sorry for all of this." Now, John, this also comes on the heels of a stunning New York Times report about a separate group chat on Discord that actually took place during the manhunt. So hours before that, again, in the aftermath of the shooting of Charlie Kirk, where Robinson was apparently joking that there was a doppelganger trying to get him, quote, in trouble. And that was on the heels of law enforcement officials releasing photos of the suspect at that time, and then other folks noticing, hey, this kind of looks like Tyler Robinson, the main suspect here. John, I'll also note that this comes after we learned yesterday morning, actually during this hour, that the FBI believes that they have DNA evidence connecting Robinson directly to the crime scene that's based on a screwdriver that was found on the roof of...
All right, that's Danny Freeman in Provo, Utah. Let's go straight to Anna Schechter, CBS News crime and public safety beat. Anna, good morning again. Thanks for your time. The new information released from the FBI, your initial reaction, especially to that Discord evidence.
Well, we knew that he was active on Discord and on multiple social media platforms, so it's not surprising that he was communicating with groups, but it's certainly significant in this case that he appeared to admit having been the killer in the immediate aftermath of the shooting, and multiple people on Discord saw that. The FBI already has that. Of course, prosecutors will want to use that as they build their case.
Interesting. This is when we heard from the FBI director, he kept referencing a note, and then the note was destroyed, but they were able to recover. When I hear note, I'm just old. I'm like, oh, he wrote down on paper. But apparently Kash Patel, the FBI director, was talking about a note on Discord, right? A digital note?
Well, it's funny. A lot of people were reading it that way, like as if there was on a Post-it note, something written that the roommate found and then posted to Discord about it. It is still unclear the exact nature of that specific note of that, which was pertaining to the need to retrieve the gun used in the shooting from the bushes near the campus, and it was wrapped in a towel. So we still need to find that out. We might get those very specifics in the charging documents that we expect to see at noon Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We expect those documents to come down. And, of course, the hearing is a couple of hours later. But I'm hoping to read all of the Discord messages and get clarity on exactly the nature of that note talking about retrieving that gun.
Is that information
that's
that
a very key... Yeah, it's a key part of it, right? Especially if he was asking somebody else to help him with it
Sure.
or insinuating that.
And real quick, final question. Is that information that we will get at that 2 p.m. Eastern press conference from the prosecutors?
We likely will. That press conference is likely timed to when the official charges will be filed in a charging document that lays out the narrative of what the prosecutors have. So I expect to be able to see it on paper and then have Utah officials brief the press and the public about what it is in those documents that we are waiting for right now.
Anna Schechter, CBS. Anna, as always, appreciate your time.
Happy to help.
All right, so 2 p.m. Eastern, the prosecutor's going to have a press conference, the charging document, and then at 5 p.m. Eastern, the suspect, Tyler Robinson, will be in court. Obviously, we saw a lot of security cam footage from the university where the assassination took place. I'm curious, Deborah, if we're going to see body cam video from when the suspect was apprehended.
Oh.
Right? I mean, I know, like, standard beat cops are wearing the body cams, but the federal agents wear them. Will we see any of that? How was the surrender handled? Very curious to see if, and maybe someone will know if there are body cams on officers at that level, the federal level where they took the suspect. Speaking of body cams, we're used to seeing them on law enforcement, right? But apparently Walmart is thinking about outfitting their employees with body cams, Deborah.
Yeah, so they actually started testing out some body cams in Texas last year, and now they're saying they're going to expand it across the country. It doesn't necessarily say all stores or which cities, but probably just some of the higher crime areas because they have had some issues with shoplifting, and we did a story last week about how somebody was attacked at a Walmart, so they're going to have more employees wear them. Now, they're not required to wear them, and they're going to be very obvious when they're wearing them. They're yellow and black. They're on their vest, so to be kind of, obvious when you walk up and you see them on there. And they're not required to turn them on until they're actually on shift, so they won't be recording like when they're on break or any other time.
All right, hear me out. I've got an idea. I think this is $1 million idea. There are already Facebook pages dedicated to crazy things that go on Walmart. I don't know the name of them, but sometimes the algorithm will be like, oh, 2 women fighting at Walmart. Like they have these things. If they outfit every Walmart employee with body cams, think of the amazing reality show that could be put on to a streaming service or something. Just crazy cuts from Walmart body cams. Like that, I think that would be wildly entertaining and could help pay for more discounts for shoppers at Walmart. Like whatever they make. Wouldn't you watch that show? Like just crazy things that go on at Walmart that's captured by body cam?
I just see that when I go to the store.
Yeah, well, I don't go to Walmart anymore since the one on Howell Mill closed.
Oh.
I'm strictly a Target guy now. I do miss Walmart, but yeah, just as a shopper, I never saw fights or anything. But there was one video of a Walmart there was a fire in the Walmart.
Yeah.
But they kept the store open. They're like, don't worry, that's in the southeast corner. The rest of the store is fine. Anyway, I'm all for it. Let's flip a reality show there, featuring body cams worn by Walmart employees. Coming up after the news at 10, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Chance for you to win $1,000 right here on 95.5 WSB. Right now, though, on this gorgeous Tuesday morning, let's head back to the traffic center and Mike Shields.
And Mark, watching a lot of response to this crash that has Buford Highway southbound shut down right now in Brookhaven, right at Briarwood Road. Police are directing traffic through the area. You can take Claremont Road down to I-85 south as an alternate around that, or Peachtree Road, that's a way around it as well. So watch out for Buford Highway southbound shutdown, though, right now at Briarwood Road in Brookhaven on the south side perimeter, where we've had rolling road work in a left lane. A crash just moved to the right shoulder, I-285 eastbound the outer loop at Moreland Avenue. This support is brought to you by YRefi.com. Is private student loan debt ruining your life? It doesn't have to. Just go to YRefi.com. That's YRefi.com to get your life back. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
So if you can't handle your real face, then don't tell me how to handle my life.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
They have a lot more money now because they stopped kneeling.
Eric Von Hessler.
Things are going to get broken.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
Well, you finally spotted your termite guy strolling around your yard. Is he just getting his steps in, or is he actually doing something? Hey, it's Mark Aaron for the only termite protection I trust, Breda Pest Management. That guy walking around your yard is supposed to be checking bait stations placed about every 15 feet all around your house. But in reality, they often don't even know where your bait stations are. It's easy to find out if you're protected. Next time they finish walking around, ask them to show me the bait stations, please. They supposedly just checked. If they can't, time to switch to Breda. They offer complete liquid barrier, not base stations, plus early detection with advanced technology both inside and outside. And best of all, your termite rate is locked in for 10 years. I have the safety, security, and knowledge knowing Breda protects my home from termites. Breda, BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
9:52 on the Mark Arum Show, updating the president's visit to the United Kingdom coming up at the top of the hour and what's going to go on with the budget. We got a September 30th deadline. A couple of big stories out of D.C. after the news at 10. But coming back to breaking news, this just popped, Deborah, via TMZ 4 minutes ago. I mentioned earlier Luigi Mangione is going to be in court today for the first time in months. This coming from TMZ. Sometimes they are the first with the story. Apparently a big legal victory this morning for Luigi Mangione. Terrorism charges dropped. Mangione scored a legal victory this morning. 2 New York State charges against him have been dropped. The judge dismissed murder in the first degree in furtherance of an act of terrorism and murder in the second degree as a crime of terrorism. The judge ruled, quote, the terrorism statute cannot be interpreted so broadly so as to cover individuals or groups who are not normally viewed as terrorists, end quote. Quoting the TMZ website right now, Mangione still faces murder in the second degree intentional, 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon, and numerous other state charges. Luigi also charged federally with murder, which makes him eligible for the death penalty. He has pled not guilty to both federal and state charges. But TMZ, I tip my hat, breaking this news first. Luigi Mangione, a legal victory of sorts today as the terrorism charges are dropped against him. We're going to have legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum on at 11:35. I want to talk to him about the Charlie Kirk assassination court proceedings today. But remind me, Deborah, I'll ask him about the Luigi Mangione story as well. So that just popping there. It's been kind of lost and to no fault of anybody. But ever since the Charlie Kirk assassination, we really haven't talked about that horrific school, the Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis. An update there, the kids and staff going back to school. Is it today, Deborah?
Yeah, the Annunciation Catholic School Minneapolis are going to resume some limited activities this week. Now, this is just like 3 weeks after those 2 children were killed. 21 other people were injured at that shooting. But they're not going to have traditional classes. They're going to offer them to come back to the school, and then they're going to have like support classes, things for the kids to just kind of like reconnect, even opportunities for them to play. So they kind of get back to, going to school is a safe place. They can be around their friends, and then they're going to bring in counselors and have other people available in case the kids just need that extra support. And they have not opened the church yet, and they don't have an estimated time for that.
Do you think, and I don't want to put pressure on you, Deborah, but is because this Catholic school is rooted in religion, do you think they're better equipped to handle the result of a horrific shooting like that better than, say, a public school? That they can use religion as a blanket, a comfort, as a public school really can't do that. Do you think they're better? I know that's a weird question to ask.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I don't know if they're better equipped, but I know that, like, for me personally, I always find prayer and everything a little more comforting. So maybe the fact that all of the students can do that together. Yeah. Maybe
I could see that.
But
I could see it because even if there are limits at what you could do with prayer in public school.
Right.
I would imagine that at a Catholic school, maybe they're better equipped. They could say, "Hey, let's all come together in prayer," because that is a religious school. All right, interesting. All right, so the kids going back. This popped since yesterday. President Trump's filed a $15 billion defamation lawsuit against the New York Times.
The suit accuses the Times of spreading false content about Trump and acting as a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party, citing its front page endorsement of Kamala Harris last fall and several of its articles critical of the president. The lawsuit comes after the Times ran stories about the crude birthday note Trump allegedly wrote to Jeffrey Epstein. The note had Trump's signature on it, but he claims he didn't write it.
I call it the Epstein hoax.
In July, Trump sued the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion for its reporting about that note. Michael Wallace, CBS News, New York.
We often talk about frivolous lawsuits, right? You're injured in a wreck and you sue for $10 million, and then the private investigator sees you walking around just fine. $15 billion, is that just frivolous? A $15 billion suit? Would that qualify as a frivolous lawsuit? Like, where's that number coming from? 15 billion. 50 million. That to me would seem less frivolous than a $15 billion lawsuit. Anyway, President Trump is en route to the United Kingdom. We're going to preview that. He is speaking to reporters, or spoke to reporters before he took off in Air Force One. We'll try to get you some audio there. And big comings and goings on Capitol Hill as the government, the leaders of Congress, Mike Johnson, try to get a budget intact before that September 30th deadline. We'll go to D.C. and update those two big stories next. And I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Chance for you to win $1,000 coming up in mere minutes here on 95.5 WSB. Social media is active throughout the broadcast. At Mark Airman, at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Just search FGA Roofing to get started with a free quote today.
Historic weekend here in Georgia for our college football teams. All 7 were victorious this weekend. Good job, everybody. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at Xfinity. If you are a football fan, or football, or baseball, or basketball, et cetera, make sure you are hooked up with Xfinity, especially if you have your friends or family or coworkers over for the game. They don't want to see any lag time if you're streaming the games on an app, or if they're updating their fantasy lineups on their phones. Make sure you have the best internet available. That, of course, is Xfinity. Don't have buffering issues. Don't have problems switching between apps to go game from game. If you are a sports junkie like me, Xfinity makes everything so much better and so much easier at home. To get started in the Xfinity family, call them, visit Xfinity.com, or drop into an Xfinity store today. Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Do you have mystery stains on your carpet? Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, clean more, and save up to $30. Mention WSB to secure this deal today. Schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Air. WSB's top local story. The Georgia Supreme Court declines to hear an appeal from Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis regarding her removal from prosecuting the 2020 Georgia election interference case against Trump.
The case now reverts to the appeals court ruling barring Fani Willis from the case. That court determined her relationship with then Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade presented a conflict of interest. Willis expressed disappointment, but will now hand the case over to the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia, led by Pete Skandalakis.
Obviously, this is a case that a lot of people are looking at. We will move as judiciously as possible and try to do the right thing.
He will determine whether to assign the case to his office or another conflict DA. Then comes a decision on whether to continue to pursue the charges or or dismiss the case entirely. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Thank you, Graham. Your weather for today: partly cloudy, an isolated rain shower is possible. Highs around 86, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Democratic Party field for governor now includes former Republican Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan. He talked to WSB this morning.
Democrats have not gotten enough votes. I'm the only candidate who can show up in November of 26 and get Democrats, independents, and those disgusted Republicans to show up and vote for us.
Now, Duncan says that he's running to take on President Trump and address issues facing Georgians. He joins a field of other Democratic candidates, including former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms and former DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurman. The 22-year-old suspect in the assassination of Charlie Kirk expected to be formally charged later today with murder. Matt Gutman has more from Utah.
That suspect is being held under what's called special watch, essentially isolation to ensure that others don't harm him or that he doesn't harm himself. And ahead of the formal murder charges being brought against him later today, the FBI has been laying out a tremendous amount of evidence against him, including what they're calling a confession.
And that court appearance is set to take place at 5 o'clock our time. A judge has dismissed terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione in New York and a state case over the killing of a United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, but he kept the state's second-degree murder charge against him. Mangione's lawyers argue that the New York case and a parallel federal death penalty prosecution had amounted to double jeopardy. The judge rejected that argument, saying that it would be premature to make such a determination. It's Mangione's first court appearance in the state case since February. In case you were just joining us, there is breaking news. An iconic actor has died this morning.
CBS News special report. One of Hollywood's greatest leading actors, Robert Redford, has died. He was 89. Redford starred on Broadway in the early 1960s before jumping to the big screen. Syracuse University media professor Robert Thompson.
In 1969, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, one of Hollywood's great masterpieces.
Jump first. No. Then you jump first. No, I said. What's the matter with you? I can't swim!
And then he just went on this string after that. Jeremiah Johnson, The Candidate, The Sting, The Way We Were, 3 Days of the Condor, All the President's Men, and we're only halfway through the decade.
CBS's Gail King.
From his publicist, Robert Redford, he says, passed away on September 16th, 2025. At his home in Sundance in the mountains of Utah, the place he loved. He was surrounded by those he loved. He will be missed greatly, of course, and the family requests privacy at this time.
Robert Redford dead at 89. CBS News special report. I'm Michael Wallace.
Let's take a look at your money. The Dow right now is down 119 at 45,764. NASDAQ also down slightly, so is the S&P. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabrina. Still some police activity around where a crash has cleared on Buford Highway southbound near Briarwood Road, so you may see a couple of lanes blocked there with the flashing lights. We have road work set up in the right lane. They've been doing tree work along Highway 78 westbound before Mountain Industrial Boulevard, and a few delays linger downtown on 75-85 northbound getting up to I-20. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy through this afternoon, an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible, high 86, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 87. Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds, high 88.
It is 72 degrees right now in Marietta, 73 in Johns Creek. Here in Midtown Atlanta, we have 73 degrees. More news at 10:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole fam with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls. Coming up in just a couple of minutes. Going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. 30 minutes from now, Scott Slade's going to join us live. His reaction to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And at 11:35, legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum going to talk about the Kirk case and the breaking news you heard. Luigi Mangione will not be charged with terrorism in that that was another execution there on the streets of Manhattan, the CEO, healthcare CEO. So double dipping with Thane Rosenbaum at 11:35. Again, if you're just joining us, you heard the obituary there during Sabrina's newscast. I'm crushed. Robert Redford, one of the greatest of the greats, passed away at the age of 89 at Sundance in Utah. For me, I mean, you can't argue with the career he's had, the movies he was in, the movies he directed. But to me, he will forever be Roy Hobbs in The Natural. Not only the greatest baseball movie of all time, but one of the best movies of all time. Rest in peace to Robert Redford. I'm going to play some more Redford audio a little bit later in the show. Right now, though, let's go to D.C. Joining us on the program, White House correspondent John Decker. John, good morning. President Trump headed over to Jolly Old to meet with the United Kingdom leaders. What's on the agenda for this visit to England at all? And I'm guessing this is a pretty historic visit for the president since it's the second time he's been invited by the Crown.
Yeah, it's the second state visit for President Trump, and he is really honored by that. He did this in his first term, and he's doing the unprecedented thing of having this honor in his second term as well. He'll leave in about a half hour from the White House. Full day flight time for the president and the First Lady, Melania Trump. They arrive this evening, and then tomorrow welcomed at Windsor Castle by King Charles and Queen Camilla. And they'll have a state dinner. The president says he's looking forward to that. Also, the Prince and Princess of Wales will be there. On Thursday, the president will have a one-on-one bilateral meeting with his British counterpart, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Certainly trade's on the agenda, and also the war in Ukraine. Of course, trying to find a way to push Russia to the negotiating table, ultimately to end this war.
If memory serves, John, when King Charles offered this unprecedented second state visit to President Trump, the theory was that he wanted to bring President Trump closer into the European allies, NATO, to add support to Ukraine in the Ukraine-Russia war. Is that, am I remembering that correctly? And is that basically what this is all about?
Well, that was a big part of it. It was also back in February when this offer was extended to President Trump by the new British Prime Minister, and that was to pave the way for a trade deal. And indeed, a trade deal was reached. The first trade deal was reached with the UK, actually. So the president has what he views as a good relationship with the UK Prime Minister, and I think that is the reason why he's been very much looking forward to every aspect of this trip.
White House correspondent John Decker joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. You know I love a good press conference. The President Trump behind the podium. Do we know if there are any scheduled, and what should we be watching for?
Yeah, I believe there is going to be a joint press conference that will take place on the last day of the president's trip. He'll be in the UK for 3 days altogether, so you can expect a joint press conference prior to his departure from the UK on Thursday, and then he arrives back at the White House on Thursday night. So a lot on tap for the president. Very busy next 3 days, and what you'll see when the president's at Windsor Castle, a lot of pomp and circumstance. They're really going to be rolling out the red carpet for President Trump.
And with the time difference, we're going to see a different Truth Social posting calendar for President Trump, since he's going to be in England on that. Final question for you, John. You mentioned the First Lady is going to be joining President Trump. Any other cabinet members, any other big names that will be on Air Force One?
Typically for these state visits, the president brings with him the big guns, so to speak. I would not be surprised if joining him on this trip will be the new Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, although he's got a lot on his hands on the diplomatic front, and maybe the Commerce Secretary as well, Howard Lutnick. We'll get a full readout about all the people on the president's itinerary in about an hour's time.
All right. John Decker, as always, appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you. Have a great day, Mark. Bye-bye.
So President Trump just spoke to reporters before boarding Marine One to get onto Air Force One and head to Jolly Old. I apologize for the audio quality of this. This is outside the helicopter, taking questions from the press before he visits the United Kingdom.
And it's the first time this has ever happened where somebody was honored twice. So it's a great honor. And this one's at Windsor. They've never used Windsor Castle for this before. They used Buckingham Palace. And I don't want to say one's better than the other, but they say Windsor Castle is the ultimate, right? So it's going to be nice. But basically, I'm there also on trade. They want to see if they can refine the trade deal a little bit. We made a deal, and it's a great deal. And I'm into helping them. Our country is doing very well. We've never done this well. We're having trillions of dollars coming because of the tariffs. They'd like to see if they could get a little bit better deal. So we'll talk to them. But Primarily, it's to be with Prince Charles and Camilla. They're friends of mine for a long time, long before he was king.
Oh, he called him Prince Charles. I make that same mistake. He's King Charles, Deborah. I've called him Prince Charles like 9 times since he's been king, so forgiven there. But President Trump there, obviously very flattered that he's going to be honored for the historic second state visit and Windsor Castle. Not Downton Abbey. They're not going to host him at Highclere Castle was the proper name of the Downton Abbey Castle. But President Trump on his way to Great Britain, and we'll monitor what's going on there. As John Decker said, we're going to get agenda released a little bit later. All right, let's give away some money, Longoria. Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm ready. It's the 5K a day bonus blitz, my friends. 10 a.m. keyword is shop. S-H-O-P, shop. Enter the keyword shop into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. Keyword is shop, S-H-O-P. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 12:30 from a number you don't recognize, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. Keyword is shop, S-H-O-P, shop. Good luck, everybody. Speaking of money, let's go back to D.C. from ABC News, our good friend Stephen Portnoy. Stephen, good morning. Bump it up against that September 30th deadline to fund the government. Heard from Speaker Mike Johnson yesterday, said House Republicans plan to attach extra money for lawmakers' security in this short-term measure to fund the government. I'm assuming this is coming on the heels of the Charlie Kirk assassination.
It is, and it follows a request from the White House for $58 million for security for the executive and judicial branches. So the White House is making a request to provide additional security to members of the Trump administration and federal judges. And yesterday, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, said that in addition to funding that, there would also be a need for additional money for members of the legislative branch, members of the House and Senate. Exactly how much money the Speaker has in mind is not known. And in fact, the expectation is he's going to huddle with his colleagues today to come to some sort of agreement on what that number should be. There has been, since 2022, when someone broke into Nancy Pelosi's house in San Francisco and attacked her husband with a hammer, there's been a need for additional security at members of Congress's homes, not just here in Washington, D.C., and there's been an arrangement for an additional portion of each member's allotment for their office to be used for personal security. In fact, this summer, after the assassination of a state legislator in Minnesota and the killing of her husband, there was an announcement that members would be able to use up to $20,000 to install security equipment at their homes, and that was an increase from $10,000 up to $20,000. There also had been a plan to allow for up to $5,000 a month to be used by members of Congress for personal security, in addition to an effort to expand cooperation between the Capitol Police and local law enforcement agencies to protect members of Congress when they go home to their districts. All of this before last week's shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Stephen, I know we don't have the numbers yet, but if President Trump wants $58 million for the executive and judicial branch, I would imagine the numbers that Speaker Johnson wants for the legislative branches would dwarf that number. Just saying, 500 congressmen, 100 senators, that would be a bigger number, right?
Well, it's hard to know. You do some back-of-the-envelope math and average it, and obviously, depending on the public profile of a member, there may be a need for greater security. Not every one of the 535 members of the House and Senate is as well known or as prominent or subject to threats. And so, you'd have to take a look. And that's why I think this is part of the, back and forth between Republican leadership as to how much they are going to propose for this purpose. And we don't know the answer to that. But widening out, and you mentioned this, Mark, in the introduction of the segment, we're 2 weeks away from the end of the fiscal year. This is going to be attached to a vehicle to avoid a government shutdown on October 1st. The text of that bill is expected to be released soon. Mike Johnson wants the House to vote on it by the end of this week so that it can get through any objections in the Senate to wind up, Republican leaders hope, on the president's desk in time to avoid a shutdown. Democrats are already saying that they're concerned that this is not going to be a bipartisan effort, that Republicans are going to push this forward without agreeing to do some of the things that Democrats want, namely the extension of expiring tax credits to keep Obamacare exchange premiums where they currently are. Democrats warn that people could lose their health insurance or could become out of reach financially because these tax credits that were put in place in the Biden era are due to expire, and Republicans have very little interest or have expressed very little interest in continuing them. And without that kind of agreement, how do you get 60 votes in the Senate? Could we be sleepwalking into a government shutdown in 2 weeks? Stay tuned.
Stephen, I hate to ask this question, but I'm going to. You mentioned bipartisan. The funding that's been requested for extra security, will that be bipartisan, or is President Trump and Speaker Mike Johnson, we know, just want extra funding for Republican lawmakers?
Oh, no, there's no way it wouldn't apply to both parties. Okay. This is a mutual interest, of course. And there's no reason to think that there would be any opposition once there's a number announced, unless there's something unforeseen I haven't heard about. But the bottom line is Republicans, because they have the majority, have to agree on what it is they're going to put up for a vote.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Stephen, as always, appreciate your time.
You bet.
I don't think there'll be any pushback to get more security for our lawmakers, for the executive branch, judiciary. But the big question is, can they get the budget deal done before September 30th? That is just 14 days away. $1,000 on the table. Your chance to win right now. 5K day bonus splits. 10 a.m. keyword is shop. SHOP shop. Enter the keyword shop into the WSB radio app or online until WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 to enter the keyword shop. I've been shopping numerous times with Ashley Frasca, usually getting gardening equipment and seeds and...
You got a lawnmower not too long ago.
I got a push handheld lawnmower.
So proud of you.
Yeah, I might have just one star of the show, Ashley.
It's not retroactive. No, it doesn't work that way. Well, we're looking for a bale of hay. Speaking of gardening, says traffic trooper Eric, it's affecting a left lane on 675 south before Anvil Block Road, so you might be dodging that. Slow down there. Getting crowded again today. 285 westbound crossing over the Chattahoochee River trying to ramp onto I-75. And tree work in the right lane of Highway 78 westbound before Mountain Industrial. Traffic brought to you by the International Hot Rod Association. International Hot Rod Association and Durana Hybrid, reigniting racing and skilled trades, mentorship, education, and legacy. Tickets at IHRA.com. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic hits.
I-75 completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Mike Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers.
And this is Jonathan Geller. And Dad, you've got to admit, our history is pretty cool. 86 years, 3 generations of love stories.
What keeps us going is that we've still got the best jewelry and diamonds at prices nobody can beat.
It all comes down to the best jewelry, best service, and best prices at D. Geller & Son. In Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D. Geller & Son.
At Southern Link, we know wireless connectivity keeps business moving. Whether you're overseeing assets in real time or monitoring crew activities, our Critical Link LTE network can keep your business applications accessible as you travel. Call 1-800-818-LINC or visit southernlink.com to learn more about our mobile data solutions, LTE voice and data services, mission critical push-to-talk, and interworking solutions. Southern Link, pushing the limits of what's possible.
Linda Beaver here. Summer may be over, but the deals are just heating up. Time to get to Beaver Toyota of Cumming because your car is here, your price is right, and it's time to drive. Low monthly payments, top dollar for your trade, 600 plus cars to choose from. We really do have a deal for everyone. And only here you get Beaver benefits with perks like lifetime powertrain warranty, lifetime oil changes, complimentary car washes, and loaners whenever you need them. Your deal's waiting, your car's ready. Visit BeaverToyotaCumming.com. Don't wait another minute.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans. No appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
Hurricane season is here, friends, and now's the time to make sure your roof is ready for whatever comes next. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you. At Dr. Roof, they're experts at hurricane proofing your home. From inspecting shingles to reinforcing your roof structure, they make sure your home is secure before the storm hits. Don't wait until it's too late. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from Dr. Roof today. Get ready before the hurricane season goes into overdrive. Call Dr. Roof today.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home quickly with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can bypass the market, receive the strongest all-cash offer in the industry, and close in as little as 21 days. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Castile Plumbing and Electrical knows the best way to handle that dripping pipe or flickering light isn't just wishing it'll go away on its own. Good news for you. You don't have to think too hard to take care of these issues, thanks to our free, no-obligation plumbing or electrical safety inspection with any paid service. The experts at Castile will fix any small problems before they become big, expensive ones, and even have 0% interest financing available on repairs and replacements. Enough with the wishful thinking. Book today at CastileAir.com.
When it comes to your home, quality is crucial. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. Quality comes first. We have the most experienced exterior craftsmen in the industry.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
You personally direct that investigation so that you would sign such a...
Did I personally direct what investigation?
Of the Epstein
That's
records
Senator
for any
Dick
reference to
Durbin,
President
Democrat from Illinois, questioning Kash Patel, the FBI director. He's in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee right now, taking questions on how he handles records related to Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein. Yeah. I'm glad I don't know it by heart. Epstein. We'll monitor that. Some breaking news in the world of AI. I'm both amazed and frightened about what I discovered yesterday on Instagram, Deborah. So I've seen every episode of Downton Abbey at least 10 times, which means Soba's seen them all 10 times because she's usually right next to me as I'm watching them. So I did a video on Instagram just telling Soba what she missed in the latest Downton Abbey movie. It was a cute little video. This is what it sounded like.
Is Lady Mary got divorced. Like, it's a big deal, like a really big deal. Some other things, Mrs. Patmore is retiring. Daisy's going to take over.
So it's no big deal. No big spoilers. Everything that I'm
again.
telling Soba was available in the trailer. And as I go to post it on Instagram, it says, do you want to allow AI translation of this? And I was like, yeah, why the hell not? This is insane. So that was me talking about it in English. AI on Instagram translated my voice into Spanish. Listen to this.
Entonces la gran noticia es que Lady Mary se divorció. Como si fuera un gran trato. Como un trato realmente grande. Otras cosas. La señora Patmore se jubila. Daisy va a tomar el mando. Carson se jubila de nuevo. Andy va a tomar el mando, lo cual es bastante genial. Harold. ¿Recuerdas a Harold? El hermano de Cora.
hermano de Cora.
Él se equivocó con la herencia de su mamá. Ese es un gran problema.
Isn't that crazy?
Sounds just like
más o
you.
menos
It does. That blew my mind. And I don't know, Deborah, I sent it to you, but I don't think you have the option to hear it in Spanish.
I couldn't figure it out. Like,
Yeah,
it's
Vinny couldn't
asked me
either.
to.
Yeah, I
couldn't,
Yeah, I
yeah.
couldn't. I'm
How
sorry.
did you
yeah.
figure it out?
It when I pull it up on my page, it's like, do you want to hear the translation? See, but that's my voice.
So we can podcast our show in other languages. now.
Exactly, Deborah. You're always 2 steps ahead of me. We could do this in 100 languages. Post them on. And that right now it's just Instagram. But imagine, people in North Korea getting to listen to the Mark Arum Show and my voice speaking Korean.
Yeah, before you get there, you'll be a star.
Yeah, you'll be saying, "Oh, 감사합니다." But wasn't that like that's my voice speaking Spanish better than I can speak Spanish.
Entonces la gran noticia es que Lady Mary se divorció.
How
Como
does
si
that
fuera un
happen,
gran trato.
Deborah?
Como
I
un
was more
trato.
amazed you that you could do that, or Soba that you told her everything.
What's funny? Go watch the video, by the way, because she was like, "What do you do? Why are you talking to me?" And then I mentioned Harold messed up the inheritance, and she shot a look at me like, "No way." Anyway, the video. If you can, I think you might have to set your language preference to Spanish on Instagram to hear me, fake me, AI me. I was very impressed with my pronunciation, though. In my
Is there other languages you can do?
I don't know. I'm
Well, there has to be. If it's meta, they're all over the world.
Yeah, so that was crazy, though. I speak better Spanish than Longoria.
You do?
Yeah.
Anyway, check it out on my Instagram page at Mark Arum, MarkArum. 5K day bonus blitz. Keyword is shop, SHOP. Enter that into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBRadio.com. You have 3 minutes to pop that in. When we come back, Scott Slade Live, reaction to the Charlie Kirk assassination. That's next on The Mark Arum Show.
If you have a leaning brick porch, an uneven concrete driveway, a pool deck covered in cracks, or an uneven sidewalk you could trip over, you should get AquaGuard to come out and help you. Schedule a free visit today at aquaguard.net. Remember,
AquaGuard. I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Don't wear 4 sweatshirts at home this winter because your old furnace isn't up to snuff. Get a brand new one thanks to my pals at Reliable. Hey, it's Mark Arum with you. Check this amazing offer going on right now. Any size furnace, just $59.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. ReliableAir.com, book an appointment or call or text 770-594-9969.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic,
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10:30. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by your Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Another candidate throwing his hat in the race for governor of Georgia with a twist. Jeff Duncan, who is the Republican lieutenant governor, announces he's running for governor as a Democrat.
Duncan tells WSB he made the decision after months of conferring with his family and voters.
I've spent time listening to Georgians all across the state. I've spent time listening to Democrats, independents, and disgusted Republicans.
Duncan says he'll focus on issues over politics like better health care for Georgians, better housing, and growing the economy. What separates him from other Democrats in the race?
Well, I think first and foremost, I can win. I can beat a Republican.
Among those other Democrats in the race, former Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, former State Senator Jason Estevez, and former DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurmond. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so what about your weather today? Partly cloudy, an isolated rain shower is possible, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Afternoon high right there around 86. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. Georgia's highest court declines to consider Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis's appeal of her removal from the Georgia election interference case against Donald Trump and others. The case will now be handed over to Georgia's prosecuting attorneys council led by Pete Skandalakis.
And when the case does get to us, we're going to be looking at appointing a conflict prosecutor for the matter.
Now, the Georgia Court of Appeals had ruled that Willis and her office could not continue to prosecute the case because of an appearance of impropriety created by a romantic relationship that she had with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, whom she had hired to lead the case. Willis plans to make the case file and evidence available to the Attorney's Council. FBI Director Kash Patel testifying before a Senate Judiciary Committee this morning. He's talking about the investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk and how the 22-year-old suspect, Tyler Robinson, was identified within hours of the murder.
A few hours later, that suspect was in custody, pursuant to the interrogation of the suspect's own father, who stated, "When I saw that video that you released, I recognized it was my son."
And Robinson is expected to be formally charged with murder later today. The accused killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is having state terrorism charges against him dropped. Luigi Mangione appeared in a New York City courtroom this morning. The judge ruled that both state terrorism charges were legally insufficient. Mangione's lawyers had argued for some evidence to be suppressed, but the judge did not rule on that issue today. The trial is set to start on the 1st of December. 1 in 6 parents have avoided or delayed vaccinating their children against diseases other than COVID or flu.
That's according to a new poll from the Washington Post and healthcare policy group KFF. The poll found white parents, Republicans, those with deeply held religious beliefs, and those who homeschool their children most likely to skip vaccinations.
And Michael Kastner reports, in fact, nearly half of religious parents who homeschool skipped vaccinating their children. Groundbreaking today on a massive Rivian plant east of Atlanta in Morgan and Walton counties. It had been delayed for years because of opposition from folks who live near the plant site. There was also some criticism about major tax incentives for the electric vehicle maker. Governor Kemp has touted job opportunities at the plant, which is expected to begin making vehicles in 3 years. As we take a look at the market, the Dow right now is down 194 at 45,688. NASDAQ also in the red, so is the S&P. Let's get a check of your roads, and for that, we turn now to the WSB 24-hour traffic center, Ashley Fresca.
A tractor trailer, but without the trailer, was stuck in the center lane of 285 west of the Chattahoochee River past New North Side. They got themselves off to the shoulder, so lanes back open there getting into Cobb County. There's a crash in DeKalb County at the end of the I-85 ramps trying to get on to 285 west. They're in that far right lane that exits onto Buford Highway. Thankfully, no delays with that yet. And road work in the right lane of Highway 78 westbound before Mountain Industrial Boulevard. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A mix of sun and clouds today with an isolated rain shower possible. High 86, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 87. Sunshine and hotter temperatures on Thursday, high 88.
It is 75 degrees in Sandy Springs. Dallas, you have 74, and it's 75 in Decatur. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my word!
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
Chicago is a death trap. And I'm going to make it just like I did with D.C., just like I'll do with...
President Trump on his way to the UK talking about National Guard troops going to Memphis, Tennessee. Coming up next, Scott Slade joins us live. Reaction from him to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. 2 minutes away on The Mark Arum Show.
This is Greg Trusinski from the Original Mattress Factory. I want to share the story of a couple I worked with recently. After receiving a quote from a competitor for a mattress, they visited OMF and found a mattress that was a great fit for them. They were so pleased with our quality and value that they ended up purchasing 2 mattresses, a box spring, headboard, and frame. Their total at OMF was roughly $400 less than what they would have spent on just the one mattress at the competitor. If you're ready to get better sleep for less, visit us at originalmattress.com.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
The Findlay Roofing Chief Barking Officer, Rufus, has the zoomies. He's rolling over about saving you $1,000 off your roof replacement. That's a lot of bones. Hey, it's Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Stop repairing the leaks and dragging your feet. For a limited time, save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, this treat ends on Halloween. Schedule your free roof analysis at findlayroofing.com.
JIC, Flat Face Seal, BSP, and DEN. If you know what these are, then listen up.
I'm Victoria Holloway. We can replicate hose assembly on site with Mobile Hydraulics of Georgia.
Call 770-HYD-HOSE or try our website, HYDHOSE.com.
10:37 on this extremely busy Newsday Tuesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. In case you missed the big political news here in the Peach State, former Republican Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, now a Democrat, announced that he is running for governor of the great state of Georgia. The Lieutenant Governor joined us live at the top of the show. We will replay part of that interview for you after the news at 11 in case you missed it. I believe it was Lieutenant Governor Duncan's first radio interview since announcing his candidacy this morning. Joining us live, as he does every Tuesday at this time, our good pal, Scott Slade. Scott, good morning, my friend.
Mark, good morning. Duncan's going to be a formidable candidate. It'll be interesting to see how this impacts the race.
Yeah, for sure. Any updates on the campaign throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB? But in case folks missed it, they can hear a portion of that interview again coming up in 30 minutes. Scott, I've been really wanting to get you on. You've forever been the voice of reason for me in much of Atlanta through some really turbulent times over the last 4 decades. And I wanted to get your reaction to the assassination of Charlie Kirk last Wednesday.
Well, I mean, it goes back to the assassination of JFK. I was in the 4th grade at 3rd Ward Elementary School in Griffin, Georgia, when we got the news of Kennedy's assassination and death. And me and a buddy were assigned to go outside and lower the flag to half staff. And then with the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. just a couple of years later, and of Robert Kennedy, we were all shaking our heads, going, "Good grief, what is next?" And some of those same feelings popped up when I got the news of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Shock and sadness and dismay, wondering just, where do we go from here? I love Patricia Murphy's words in the Sunday AJC over the weekend. She said, "It seems Kirk was killed for what he said and what he believed, the very worst reason to die in a democracy that says it values free speech." So we get that, and we get the background now of some folks being disciplined by the employers for what they've been saying about, in either way, about what happened to Charlie Kirk online, whether that involves a company policy and social media or not. It's going to be fascinating to me to see how that plays out, because I am a First Amendment advocate. Which leads me to this, Mark, and I'm glad I got a couple of minutes. I did not want to leave this on the cutting room floor, especially considering where Charlie Kirk was killed, a college campus. Some extended comments from University System of Georgia Chancellor Sonny Perdue from WSB Sabrina Cupid's interview at Purdue. Purdue's first reaction to Kirk's death?
I think the first statement is, I think the essence of education is teaching people how to live together, how to live with all of our differences and the way we were raised differently, but how to come together and respect one another and to generally begin to love one another for our differences. And we think that not only in teaching content, technology, and all the things you learn at college, it's a place where we ought to be able to learn how to live together, even having different opinions. And certainly we hear a lot about First Amendment, free speech, but we're working very hard on our system to educate young people how they can come together and respect one another, even while disagreeing, but listen to other people. And I think we're all changed by that. That's really the essence of education.
And when Chancellor Perdue was asked if Kirk's assassination on a Utah college campus would have a chilling effect on such future events on Georgia campuses?
Every campus is in control of who they allow there or not. But my opinion is, if we backed away because of this event, we would simply capitulate to those who would like to cancel or silence anyone who has a different opinion. So my thoughts are, we need to continue having people of all stripes there, all opinions that way with free speech. We've got certain areas on campuses where anything in that regard, as long as they're civil and safe and not harming other people, have the right to speak up. No, again, I think I'm saddened as an American where we resort to violence to solve and to harm people who don't agree with us. And again, that's why this whole system of education is so important, because part of our responsibility, University System of Georgia, is to help young people understand that not everybody's going to agree with them. Not everyone's going to think like they think, but how do they converse? How do they communicate? How do they communicate in a civil discourse respectfully and help to persuade or be persuaded by the other's opinion? That's the essence of education.
Yeah, but even the example of 9/11, how we came together to grow instead of wilt. And Perdue says this is what college should be about, teaching young people how to form their own thinking with solid arguments after hearing from all sides, arguments you can actually defend instead of just regurgitate.
And I think, so, if you don't mind me jumping in for a second, I like the strong words from Mr. Perdue saying that, this assassination isn't going to limit what we do at Georgia colleges and universities as far as having, sometimes controversial voices come and speak on campuses. But what I think is going to change is where these speakers take place. Like, I think we're not going to see many outdoor events, especially if there's a lightning rod speaker. I think because, from all the security experts I've talked to, it's very difficult to secure an outdoor event where Charlie Kirk was in Utah. Much easier if they're in an auditorium or a gymnasium or something where security can be a little bit tighter.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And correct me if I'm wrong, suspect Tyler Robinson is still not cooperating with police, so it's going to be up to the state to prove he murdered Charlie Kirk? Is that the bottom line?
That is, as of the start of this show, not cooperating. We do have a couple of big moments today in that Kirk assassination case. 2 p.m. Eastern, the prosecutors are going to hold a press conference. I believe we'll see the charging document. Maybe we'll get some clarity on motive and what evidence we have. And then at 5 p.m. Eastern, Tyler Robinson will be in court in Provo, Utah, I believe. It's ironic that you brought up the 60s, Scott, because Thursday morning when we came on the air, just stunned of the tragedy would happen in Utah, and I asked out loud, "Is this what it was like in the 60s?" And apparently that was your frame of reference. This is what it felt like in the 60s.
Some of that because you tend to internalize things like this. You can't help it, and you start looking for what makes sense anymore, and obviously this doesn't, and we need to be better than this. And like I said a moment ago, try to find a way to grow from it. As horrible as the assassinations of JFK, MLK, and RFK were, we did recover. It wasn't easy, but we did recover. I think it pretty much took maybe the end of the Vietnam War for that to really start happening. but we found a way to do it, and the nation survived.
And what we've seen recently, the assassination attempt on President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, the two lawmakers in Michigan that were gunned down. Minnesota. Those are politicians. Charlie Kirk wasn't a politician. He was a kingmaker, right? Like, President Trump credits his victory in November of 2024 for Charlie Kirk's organization and getting the young Republican vote out. Was not yet a politician yet. Well, unfortunately, we'll never know if he was going to ever run for office. But he was an influencer, a kingmaker, not a politician running for office or holding office.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and again, this was, and he grew largely from social media, his social media accounts and his podcast, which Vice President Vance guest hosted yesterday, as I understand. And just a whole different way to communicate than we had from back in the days where we had 3 channels of TV and had to depend on the networks to basically let us know what was going on.
Different worlds for sure.
Is.
Scott, love your insight and your perspective on this. Obviously, the calm, reasoned voice of Scott Slade always makes me feel comfortable in troubling times like this. Scott, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Sure, Mark, and many prayers for Charlie Kirk's family and all those who've been touched by this.
Yeah, and again, we're going to monitor the court appearance today. Press conference at 2 p.m. by the prosecutors, and then at 5 p.m., the assassination suspect, the alleged assassination suspect, Tyler Robinson, will be in court. All right, when we come back, the Federal Reserve Governor, Lisa Cook, that President Trump wanted to oust, that reversal was just announced by a court. We'll check in with Bloomberg News. I know that was a convoluted sentence, but, a lot of movement on the Fed and President Trump wanting to get his own people in there. Court yesterday said no. Bloomberg News will get us caught up to date accurately after we check traffic at 10:47 on this beautiful Tuesday. Live with the latest, Ashley Frasca.
The ride around Metro Atlanta, pretty beautiful as well. Not much to hang you up. Still a little bit of volume rolling out of Duluth on 85 South, just slow in spots from 316 getting down to Beaver Ruin. And look out for crews doing some tree work there in the far right lane and will be most of the morning on Highway 78 westbound approaching Mountain Industrial. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
I try even when I don't agree.
The opinions expressed are his.
To at least exercise some basic empathy.
And that's what makes you listen.
Coming in like a wrecking ball, taking it all out. It's fantastic.
Eric Erickson.
Today, starting at noon.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Just search FGA Roofing to get started with a free quote today.
Hey y'all, it's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I'm so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. And Four Seasons Home Care was so helpful to my family throughout the process. I get emails from listeners all the time and why I trusted Four Seasons Home Care. They tell me I don't want just anyone to care for my parents. Well, of course you don't. So here's why I work with Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company. They vet and hire every single one of their caregiving specialists, and they don't farm out the care to contractors, and they're not some national corporation. So here's my advice, folks. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. Do your homework. This is a huge decision. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Are you tired of painting your home every 3 to 5 years? Get peace of mind for 25 years with Rhino Shield.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Get a free estimate at rhinoshieldga.com.
Nobody likes a dingy smell. I mean, have you ever seen a candle with the scent dingy? I didn't think so. So avoid that dingy smell with help from the air duct cleaning experts at Zerorez. When dirt, dust, and allergens collect in your ducts, your air starts to stink. But Zerorez is a breath of fresh air. Plus, right now, if you mention WSB, you get up to $75 off your next duct cleaning. Schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com and ask about our commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
Hi, I'm Becca, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As an in-house designer, I can't wait for you to see our incredible selection of stylish and stackable rings. If you're shopping for your wedding bands, we have high-quality designs for every style and budget, from romantic to modern. If you're looking to add to a stack, your options are endless. Discover styles with clusters of gemstones, sleek all-metal designs, updated cigar bands, and signet rings perfect for an engraving. Because a friend knows you like options. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Motorcycle riders know that a distracted driver can knock you down. It's nice to know that Steel Horse Law can pick you back up. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. In the worst possible scenario, when someone causes you to lay your bike down, Steel Horse Law will get you the best possible settlement. Their name strikes fear in the heart of big insurance companies because Steel Horse Law is respected and will make them pay. Visit steelhorselaw.com.
That was thousands of miles being added to your private radio network. With Southern Link, connect your private LMR radio system to Critical Link, our mission-critical LTE network, so you can communicate more easily with more people when the situation demands. Call 1-800-818-LINC or visit southernlink.com to learn more about our interworking solutions, mission-critical push-to-talk, and LTE voice and data services. Southern Link, pushing the limits of what's possible.
Dave Baker for Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Looking for a new truck and looking for a great deal? Simply go to beavertoyotacumming.com/Dave's Deals and save money on a new Toyota Tundra. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming is the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Mr. Acosta allowed Epstein to enter in 2008 to a plea and non-prosecution agreement, which then the courts issued mandates and protective orders legally prohibiting anyone from ever seeing that material ever again without the permission of the court.
FBI Director Kash Patel being questioned by the Senate Judiciary Committee this morning relating to records in the Jeffrey Epstein case, something we'll monitor throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. Want to update a story with local impacts because it involves someone that at least lived part-time in Atlanta. Let's go to Bloomberg News. Checking in with a court making a decision on the Fed governors. Katerina Saraiva joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Katerina, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
So a court prevented President Trump from ousting Lisa Cook ahead of the policy meeting that begins today, but the Senate has confirmed Stephen Miron as a Fed governor in time for him to participate in the session. What does this all mean at the end of the day?
Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean too much for interest rates. So we do have a new Fed member, Stephen Miron, as you noted. He's filling a vacancy that was on the board, and he has indicated that he will probably vote to lower interest rates, but he's just one of 12 votes on that. So he's unlikely to really move the needle too meaningfully, and also they're widely expected to lower rates tomorrow anyway. So we had that coming. And then in terms of the other governor that you mentioned, Lisa Cook, and her ongoing court case, this just means that she will be able to attend the meeting, which is today and tomorrow. And again, shouldn't really mean too much for interest rates, but that kind of ongoing legal battle has some concern about, what it could mean for the Fed's independence kind of in the long term.
But today, Lisa Cook still has a job pending. I'm sure there's going to be an appeal, correct?
Yes, that's right. The White House has already filed that appeal to the Supreme Court. So as of right now, she is in the meeting. They've started the meeting already. But we could get, an emergency order from the Supreme Court really at any time. So we'll just kind of have to see today and tomorrow if we do get something.
And the whole part of the story that impacts listeners the most is that interest rate. And how confident are we that we're going to see a cut tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty confident. Markets are pricing in basically a 100% chance of that. It'll be what they call a normal cut, which is 1/4 percentage point. So it's nothing huge. But, a lot of folks think that it'll be the first in what is likely to be a few interest rate cuts. They might not come at every consecutive meeting, but people certainly think that we're likely to see a few more rate cuts after this as well.
Is there any chance with the addition of Myron to the board that we could see a full 0.5% cut tomorrow, or is that wishful thinking?
I think at this point it seems a bit like wishful thinking. We are likely to see some of the Fed officials like Stephen Myron and a couple others dissent at tomorrow's meeting in favor of a bigger rate cut, like you're saying, 0.5 percentage point. But in terms of, having enough support for a rate cut of that size, it doesn't seem like there is enough of that support among the whole committee.
Interesting, Lee, you mentioned the markets baked it in. The markets are down this morning, not terribly, but Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ. Maybe with that rate cut announcement tomorrow, we'll see a rebound perhaps on Wall Street?
Yeah, I mean, that'll be interesting if we do see that. I mean, markets have been, doing well this year. I think, some of that is now is kind of expectations for easier policy from the Fed. So, yeah, maybe that will kind of help things in markets. But, I always find markets to be very confounding to understand.
Yes, I'm raising my hand as well.
So we'll have to see.
When the markets go left, I go right, vice versa. I can never time them. Katerina Saraiva, Bloomberg News, always appreciate your time leaning on the expertise and the depth of Bloomberg's coverage. Thank you so much. Have a great Tuesday.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, so let's get that rate cut. Fingers crossed, 50, a whole 0.5% rate cut. So I don't have to pay that exorbitant. No, I don't know. Everything's exorbitant these days. Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic in 2. When we come back, in case you missed it, former Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, once a Republican, now a Democrat, announced he is running for governor as a Democrat. We're going to replay the interview from the 9 a.m. hour next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Scott Slade with how a short phone call can change your life for the better. Take a few minutes and call MyLend and see if there's a way to put money in your pocket every month. There's so many options with MyLend. Here's an example. One of my friends at MyLend is looking at a reverse mortgage for his mom, who's 82. She's currently in a house that's paid for and too much to take care of by herself. So they're considering a reverse mortgage by selling her current house, then buying a smaller one by only putting 50% down and then putting the other 50% in her bank account, essentially trading homes and putting a couple of $100,000 in her pocket. If you or your parents have a similar situation, call MyLend, where the guys and gals there will put together a plan that's just right for you with no obligation. Call 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's mylend.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage License C148769, located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
You know the saying, age before beauty? Well, many Atlanta homes built in the 80s and 90s are really showing their age and not so much beauty. Roofs are leaking, windows are drafty, paint is peeling everywhere, and that front door, well, might as well say Y2K, here we come. So many projects, and that means hiring a bunch of contractors, right? Wrong. Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. When you bundle several projects with Exovations, you can save time, money, and coordinate everything all at once for a truly stress-free experience. From the roof shingle at the top to the last drop of paint on the bottom, Exovations does it all. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, decks, gutters, and more. And with Exovations, you know we'll do your project on time, on budget, and without all that stress you usually hear about in construction. Schedule your free consultation today at exovations.com and bring your home into this millennium.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It's 11 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. We're going to start with this. A major blow for the prosecution of President Trump's alleged involvement in election interference here in Georgia. The state Supreme Court this morning declines to hear an appeal from the Fulton County District Attorney. Now, the case will now be handed over to Georgia's Prosecuting Attorneys Council, which will be led by Pete Skandalakis.
Obviously, this is a case that a lot of people are looking at. You know, we will move as judiciously as possible and try to do the right thing.
And in a statement from D.A. Willis, she says, quote, I hope that whoever is assigned to handle the case will have the courage to do what the evidence and the law demands. We have also heard from defense counsel for President Trump, Steve Sadow. He's saying in a written statement, quote, the Georgia Supreme Court has correctly denied review of the Georgia Court of Appeals decision disqualifying D.A. Fani Willis and her office as prosecutors in the Fulton County RICO case. He went on to say this proper decision should bring an end to it. All right, so your weather for today, partly cloudy and isolated rain shower is possible. Afternoon highs around 86, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Well, a former Republican state official is now in the Democratic race for governor.
Former Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan says he's running for the state's top job after recently announcing he's a Democrat. In his announcement, Duncan promises to take on President Trump.
I'm running for governor to put Georgians in the best position to once again love their neighbors and to make Georgia the front line of democracy and a backstop against extremism.
Duncan, who served as lieutenant governor for one term from 2019 to 2021, joins a field of Democratic candidates that includes former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms and former DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurmond. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A federal judge has dismissed terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione in the case over the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Correspondent Allison Keys has more on that.
The judge dropped 2 state terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, including one that accused him of first-degree murder. He says the evidence behind the charges was legally insufficient, but Mangione is still charged with second-degree murder in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Prosecutors say the terrorism charges were warranted and have called the act a frightening, targeted murder.
And Mangione has attracted a cult following from people frustrated with the health insurance industry. Actor and Oscar-winning director Robert Redford has died. His breakout role came in 1969 with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, where he starred opposite of Paul Newman. Robert Redford died in his sleep at his home in Utah. He was 89 years old. Let's take a look at the markets and see how your investments are working for you. We're in the red this morning. The Dow's down 181 at 45,701. NASDAQ also down, so is the S&P. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. For that, we go to the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. We're looking at some delays in East Atlanta. DOT says it's an overturned vehicle crash. I-20 eastbound at Moreland Avenue, exit 60. Looks like 1, maybe 2 right lanes are blocked, but luckily delays are not terrible just yet. We will keep our eye on that. If you're heading up toward Kennesaw, 75 northbound, seeing a few brake lights as well from Highway 5 up toward Chastain Road. And you got that right lane tree trimming coming out of Stone Mountain, Highway 78 westbound at Mountain Industrial Boulevard, exit number 4. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy through this afternoon, an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible, high 86, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 87. Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds, high 88.
Right now in Dunwoody, 76 degrees. It's 73 in Sugar Hill, and in Tucker, it's 76. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I want this town to be near you.
11:04 on this gorgeous Tuesday morning. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. Coming up right after the new news, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. But you don't have to wait to win. We've got an amazing prize pack to give away right now. Deborah, how about we give away those Lyle Lovett tickets right now?
All right, Lyle Lovitz and his acoustic group at Atlanta Symphony Hall on September 28th.
All right, Vinny, so good to have you back. We'll take it easy. Seventh caller to Vinny Drip. Seventh caller to 404-872-0750. Seventh caller wins a pair of tickets to see Lyle Lovett and his acoustic group, Atlanta Symphony Hall, on September 28th, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show. In 30 minutes, we have more tickets to give away, this time to see the B-52s. So another chance to win. Two more chances to win here on the Mark Arum Show. B-52 tickets and, of course, the 5K a day bonus splits. All right, the big political news this morning. You heard Break on Atlanta's Morning News with Chris Chandler. Former governor, or lieutenant governor, Republican lieutenant governor Jeff Duncan, who has famously switched over to a Democrat, announced this morning that he is going to run as a Democrat for the governorship to replace Governor Brian Kemp. And what I believe was his first radio interview since the announcement this morning, Lieutenant Governor Duncan joined us at the top of the show at 9:05. I'm going to replay that interview for you, but just give you a warning that the Lieutenant Governor's cell phone reception was kind of spotty. So there are a couple of times there where it was a little garbled, but we got the gist of it. The first question I asked Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, when did he make the decision to run for governor?
Well, our family's been processing this for a number of months, and I've spent time listening to Georgians all across the state. I've spent time listening to Democrats, independents, and disgusted Republicans. And my summary is that there's a pathway to win here. There's folks that want to have common sense decision makers that are able to focus on the issues that matter most and not get distracted by Donald Trump's toxic leadership style or the fringe issues. And for me, that's what we're going to stay focused on throughout this campaign.
Mr. Duncan, if you could, move 3 feet to your left. We're getting a weird cell signal from you. We could hear what you say, but it was kind of garbled there. Entering the race now, we've already got some established Democrats have entered the race for the governor's mansion. What separates you from the candidates that are already in the race?
Well, I think first and foremost, I can win. I can beat a Republican for the first time in 27 years. The last time Democrat won was 1998 with Roy Barnes. And it's for one simple reason. Democrats have not gotten enough votes. I'm the only candidate who can show up in November of 26 and get Democrats, independents, and those disgusted Republicans to show up and vote for us. And that's what I'm laser focused on. Look, we're all going to have resumes that talk about things that we've done in the past, and certain I'm going to highlight mine and others are going to do theirs. But I've been working hand in hand in that legislature and in the state capitol with Democrats and Republicans to build consensus on big issues like rural hospitals, hate crimes legislation, improvements to education, giving teachers pay raises. I've been working together across the aisle for a long time, and I'm excited to share those stories with Georgians.
3 more feet to the left, Lieutenant Governor. We got most of that, but at the end it tailed off there. You famously switched parties from a Republican to Democrat. Are you worried that your fellow Democrats in the primary might use, what you did as a Republican against you in the Democratic primary?
Well, I certainly will. And look, I've got to continue to work hard to earn the trust of Democrats across the state. I can't control what my opponents do. I can only talk about what I want to do for Georgians. I want to focus on delivering affordable child care to women trying to go back to work. I want to give better access to health care to millions of Georgians who are in the process of losing health care because of the not so big, beautiful bill. I want to work on affordable housing. I want to continue to grow the economy. I'm going to be forward looking in my mission. And I'm not going to take the bait of playing toxic politics. We're watching the dangerous, tragic effects of that play out across our country. And I'm going to stay focused on trying to help them solve the problems of Georgians.
I'm glad you brought that up, Lieutenant Governor, because you might be best able to answer this question. Being a former Republican and now a Democrat, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, your immediate reaction to the assassination, and what do you think about the political climate right now?
Well, it's tragic. I mean, it's unbelievable to think somebody is murdered in cold blood because of just political speech. We should never be in this environment. I continue to just shake my head at people that want to point fingers at the opposite side. I think everybody's problem. Both sides are guilty of raising this toxic level of political conversation, and that includes Donald Trump. His opportunity after this tragedy should have been to heal and rebuild the country and lead by example and get people back together, but instead he's used this as a moment to only point out the left and call out only the issues that highlight his side. There's a dead legislators from Minnesota. There's Paul Pelosi. There's other folks on the Democratic side that have also suffered tragedies. Look, until we have leaders willing to lead by example, we're going to continue to see this toxic environment get higher and higher and higher.
Former Georgia Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. In case you missed the breaking news announcement on Atlanta's Morning News, Mr. Duncan running for the Democratic side of the governorship here in Metro Atlanta. Is it a safe assumption to say, Mr. Duncan, that you are a moderate Democrat?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, from what I understand and what I sense is there's a huge groundswell of folks that fit the category that I'm in. And that's somebody who wants to stay focused on the issues that matter at my kitchen table and your kitchen table and those folks listening. They want to be able to run their businesses effectively and efficiently. They want their kids to get quality education. They want their streets to be safe. They want their state government to operate and help when needed. To me, that's what I'm focused on, and I think a majority of Georgians are focused on the same thing.
That being said, you've got some stiff competition in the Democratic primary, right? State Senator Estevez, former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. Where are your votes coming from? Are your votes coming from moderate Democrats, independents, left-leaning Republicans? What's your sweet spot in the primary?
The answer to that is yes, to all the above. I think we've got support coming from all angles because I think for various reasons. A lot of people align with me politically and policy-wise and don't want to live in the fringes in the campaign season. There's obviously a group there. There's a number of folks that want to wake up and win. They want to wake up in November of 26 and for the first time in nearly 3 decades win. And the time is now. And I think the opportunity to put a quality style of leadership on display that has the courage to stand up to Donald Trump. Look, doing the right thing will never be the wrong thing. That's our family motto. And I certainly believe this is an instance that has motivated me and my family to take this step.
I know Republicans in the state of Georgia want to avoid a bloody primary because, you don't want to spend resources and you don't want to, lobbing grenades back and forth from candidates on your same party. Are you hoping for and maybe bloodless is a bad word to use, right, but a civil primary with you and your Democratic rivals?
Well, let's just be honest. The Republican primary has to do with one thing, Donald Trump, and whichever candidate fits best on his sock puppet hand. That's it. Donald Trump is going to handpick who this next governor nominee is for Republicans, and that's an is what it is. And if you want to wake up in November of 26 and Donald Trump be your default governor and be in charge of our schools, our legislature, our budgets, just because the Republican nominee hands the keys over, then so be it. But I think a majority of Georgians don't want to see that happen. And look, iron sharpens iron on the Democratic primary side. I look to have conversations and debates and forums to be able to get everybody's perspective. I have respect for all the candidates that are running. It takes a lot and a lot of courage to run.
Final question for you, Lieutenant Governor. What's the Duncan campaign look like? Are you going to be traveling the state? Are you going to release endorsements either from left, right, center folks? What's the campaign look like ground level for you right now?
Yeah, I ran statewide before, and I won. And the lesson I learned there was hard work pays off. We got 159 counties. We've got a unique story. In Georgia, we've got urban, metro, rural, and they all have different challenges to face. And so rolling up your sleeves and going to work every day, we'll be traveling the state east to west, north to south. And we're going to get, we're not only, like I said earlier, we're not only going to try to gain the votes of folks, we're going to try to gain their respect. And I think that's important.
All right, Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan. Sir, congratulations. Good luck in the race, and I really appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks. Have a great day.
There you go. Jeff Duncan, earlier this morning on the Mark Arum Show, that future advice for Lieutenant Governor Duncan and any political candidate, when you call into a radio show, call in from a landline. Like that's politics 101. Can you hear me now? You got to do landline. Right, Deborah? Like landline interviews.
Yeah. Poor Vinny doesn't even know what a landline is.
Vinny does not even know what a landline is. Anyway, that's a big development, though. We kind of knew it was coming, but it's official. Jeff Duncan, former Republican, now a Democrat, running to take over the seat from his former boss, Brian Kemp. Tomorrow on the show, political analyst Stephen Lawson is going to join us live. He will break it down for us. Congrats to Chris from Peachtree Corners. Won a pair of tickets to an amazing concert. We'll give away another pair of tickets to an amazing concert coming up after the news at 11:30. And then right after the new news, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. chance to win $1,000 on 95.5 WSB. $1,000 sounds like a windfall to you and me, folks. But when it comes to Big Pharma, that is a drop in the bucket. I know how often Big Pharma spends on advertising, right? You watch cable news or heck, even the nightly news. Every other ad is, Leprentix and Longoria Centric and all these weird sounding medicines with all the side effects. But Deborah, I was shocked when you told me how much money Big Pharma is spending on ads overall.
If it seems like those pharmaceutical commercials are everywhere, you're right, because data shows that those drug companies, Big Pharma, have spent about $3.7 billion just in ads this year, and there's still, how many months to go for the year, and that make up about 4% of all ads that you're seeing on TV, radio, and of course the number one, weight loss drugs.
Yeah, weight loss drugs for sure. That actually, when I'm thinking about it, so does that include online or is that just broadcast advertisements?
It says advertising in general. It doesn't bust out like TV, radio, magazine, so it just ads in general.
It's so funny because, again, when I'm watching TV, I'm watching news. That's, I'll binge watch a bunch of fluff and crap and everything. I'm not going to recommend this show on Netflix. I'll tell you about it later. But Maya will watch regular TV, and her commercials are so different than the commercials I'm seeing on cable news. There's not she's whatever Maya channels she's watching, whether it's Food Network or HGTV, whatever. They don't have the bounty of Big Pharma ads that you see on. So that's my algorithm. My self-imposed algorithm is kind of skewed on that. One more money story. I was not blown away by this amount. The average. All right, I'm going to ask the dad in the group, Longoria.
Oh, okay.
First of all, do you pay your girls an allowance?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
What is a month? What a month do your girls get if you were to average it out?
Probably about $20
a month.
Yeah.
A month.
All right. So we know
they don't do a lot around the house.
Understood. They earn 20. They get 20.
Yeah.
The average amount that kids make allowance monthly these days is $100. Is that right, Deborah?
Yeah, it's actually about 119.
119. But you're shaking your head.
That's too much.
I didn't think I thought it'd be bigger. I didn't get allowance for a long time until I was 13, and then I got an allowance because it was just like you do your chores, you're not getting paid. But at 13, I was a man allegedly, so I would get paid mowing the lawn, raking, I did stuff. And unless I'm misremembering, I thought I got $20 a week for doing, and that's in the 80s.
Oh wow!
Which was great. So that would be I was getting $80 a month in 1985 for allowance. So if it's 119, kids are getting screwed these days.
They are. Well, my kids are even getting screwed.
Either that or my parents were really generous, or I'm just misremembering it. It was $20 a month.
See, the way we do it is we kind of give tally marks. If they do something good without getting provoked to do it, they bring me something or they go do something for dad or mom, and okay, we'll put a tally mark on that thing, and then we pay
tally
them
mark.
Yeah.
Tally ho. Vinny, you're the closest to allowance age. Papa Vinny, did he give you an allowance, or Mama Vinny, and what did you make a month?
They tried to do that once.
Once.
I can't remember how much though, but it didn't work out very well.
So what? You just didn't help out around the house, or they just didn't pay you for helping out around the house?
They paid me for helping out, but they was like, all right, we tried this. It didn't improve.
Yeah, and then they just gave you a credit card and said, all right, just charge whatever you want.
Part of this story has kids being able to spend things on phones and their wallets and already set up accounts, and part of that goes to how much allowance they get as well.
Oh, all right. I think that's if your 12-year-old daughter is helping do dishes and cleaning up. I think $119 a month. That's $25.
If my 12-year-old did that,
they would
for sure.
That. Interesting. All right, quick break. We're going to come back, update our top local stories. First and foremost, though, got to check that Tuesday morning ride around Atlanta. Let's say hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Not good on the west side perimeter. 285 southbound is crawling, leaving South Cobb Drive down to I-20, the West Freeway exit 10. That is all due to traffic pacing getting down to I-20. It's only going to be temporary, so hang in there if you're stuck in the those delays. They're doing a little bit of blasting operations over there, slowing that ride. And still watching this crash clean up in East Atlanta. 20 eastbound at Moreland Avenue, exit 60. A couple of the right lanes blocked there, but only a bit of a slow zone, so no need to jump up right now and use Memorial Drive. Traffic brought to you by the International Hot Rod Association. International Hot Rod Association in Duran Hybrid, where the roar of the engine meets the torque of the wrench, building champions on the track and in the trades. Get your tickets at ihra.com. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
That's awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
That's amazing.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
Mark Arum here with a personal question for you folks. Is your main drain clogged? Well, maybe it's not personal, but it can get personal if your main drain is clogged. Don't stress. Get it cleared out right now for just $89 guaranteed. That's right. My friends at Reliable Heating, Air, and Plumbing offering a $90 main drain cleaning promo. Unbelievable value. Get rid of the stress of your main drain. Is it clogged? It won't be after my pals at Reliable. Company you can trust. Reliable. Every cleaning comes with a free sewer camera inspection, no hidden fees or extra charges for after hours or weekends, and, drum roll please, same-day service available. Clear out your clogged main drain with my friends at Reliable. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website, reliableair.com. Click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969, 770-594-9969.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
If you're ignoring any cracked bricks or concrete cracks, you could be ignoring underlying foundation problems. You'll want to get ahead of these problems sooner rather than later. Don't wait any longer. Visit AquaGuard.net today to book your free inspection. Remember, AquaGuard.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, buying a car is more than a transaction. It's a 5-star experience because they value you. Enjoy personalized offers and luxury perks, all designed with you in mind. Visit ButlerLexusSouthAtlanta.com or call 800-NEW-LEXUS today. Butler Lexus South Atlanta, the standard of amazing.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh,
I know some of you are saying, Aram, it's too early for Christmas music. It's only September 16th. But, might I retort, Jingle Bells, copyrighted under its original title, One Horse Open Sleigh, 168 years ago today. Deborah, I did not know this. You probably did because you're wise beyond your years. We associate Jingle Bells with Christmas, but did you know it was actually written for Thanksgiving?
I did, yes.
Yeah, of course. I did. Did you know
I had a fact of the day like last year about this, yes.
Yep, I don't know what version I just played.
Jingle bells,
That's a really bad version. I would been better off me doing my crooner version of Jingle Bells. I had no idea that was a Thanksgiving song. That's the culture war against Thanksgiving was started, and they hijacked. No, anyway, we are going to start Christmas music earlier than normal this year, I think. Usually I start after Thanksgiving. I want to get into the spirit a little earlier. It's been a tough year. It's like, no. I don't know. I whistle Christmas songs in July, so I'm a big fan. Anyway, 168 years ago today, One Horse Open Sleigh was copyrighted by James Pierpoint, apparently the author of Jingle Bells. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, Deborah's going to give away some tickets. And 2 suspected assassins, Aram, in court today, Luigi Mangione and Tyler Robinson. What can we expect in the courtrooms? Legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum will join us live with the latest. Social media is up and active throughout the day, and the broadcast at Mark Aram and at WSB Radio.
Want to save 1,000 bones on your next roof? Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Right now, save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, this treat ends on Halloween. FindlayRoofing.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
If critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda to kick those critters out. With the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if they return, you're covered at no additional cost.
Breda. No need to be afraid of bugs.
JIC, Flat Face Seal, BSP, and DEN. If you know what these are, then listen up.
I'm Victoria Holloway. We can replicate hose assembly on site with Mobile Hydraulics of Georgia.
Call 770-HYD-HOSE or try our website, HYDHOSE.com.
How about this for a 1-2 punch? Get your own natural hair regrowing the very next day and save a ton of money doing it. Mark Aram, of course, back from my friends at Advanced Hair. What makes them different? Well, they combine science and technology to give you back your own natural growing hair. This is not a pill or a lotion subscription that helps retain what you have. You want your hair to regrow where it's currently gone. Whether you have a receding hairline, bald spot, or thinning hair, Advanced Hair offers the proven, guaranteed solution that regrows your hair where it's currently gone. Your real hair begins to regrow the very next day, and it's even guaranteed to grow for life. And how about this amazing deal? If you get a consultation, free consultation, by the way, and you move forward, you get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. That's a lot of savings and a lot of hair. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. Georgia's highest court declines to consider Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's appeal of her removal from the Georgia election interference case against Donald Trump and others. This case will now be handed over to Georgia's Prosecuting Attorneys Council, which will be led by Pete Scandalakis.
And when the case does get to us, we're going to be looking at appointing a conflict prosecutor for the matter.
And the conflict prosecutor will then decide whether to proceed or dismiss the case. The Georgia Court of Appeals previously ruled that Willis and her office could not continue with the case due to an appearance of impropriety created by a romantic relationship that she had with Special Prosecutor Nathan Deal, whom she had hired to lead the case. Your weather for today, partly cloudy and isolated rain showers possible. Afternoon highs around 86, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. The Democratic primary field for governor now includes former Republican Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan. And he talked to WSB this morning.
Democrats have not gotten enough votes. I'm the only candidate who can show up in November of 26 and get Democrats, independents, and those disgusted Republicans to show up and vote for us.
Now, Duncan says he is running to take on President Trump and address issues facing Georgians. He joins a field of other Democratic candidates, including former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms and former DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurman. A blow for prosecutors in the case against Luigi Mangione over the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO last year. Mangione is still charged with second-degree murder for the killing of Brian Thompson, but the judge in this case has dropped 2 state terrorism charges, saying the evidence behind them was legally insufficient. The average cost to own and operate a car has fallen over the past year, but a new report today finds it's still costing you almost $12,000 a year.
The overall purchase price for the cars have come down a little bit, as has fuel costs for the past year and the finance charges.
And that is AAA's Greg Brennan. He admits that the price to own a car remains much higher than past years, but he says the decline from last year is good for consumers. And while we're talking about your money, members of the Federal Reserve begin their 2-day meeting today to decide on an interest rate cut. President Trump has been pushing for a cut, and he wants a large one. Reporter Madison Mills says that a cut doesn't, though, always mean lower interest rates when it comes to mortgages.
Interesting to hear the president saying that housing will soar off the back of rate cuts. That really depends on the bond market, because if bond investors push up something like the 10-year yield, that's what's tied to your mortgage rates, your credit card rates, right? So it really depends on how Wall Street responds to the Federal Reserve's interest rate that is really tied to very short-term rates versus those long-term rates.
And again, the Federal Reserve meeting today and tomorrow. As we take a look at the markets right now, the Dow currently down 176 at 45,707. NASDAQ also down slightly, and so is the S&P. It's 11:33. That means it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center with a look at your roads.
Hey, Sabrina, trying to shake out the delays on the west side perimeter. 285 southbound's been stacked up from South Cobb Drive. Getting down to I-20, the West Freeway, exit 10, that's all due to traffic pacing. It has since wrapped up, so hang in there. Those delays from South Cobb Drive, South Atlanta Road are starting to improve. Still watching this crash in East Atlanta, 20 eastbound at Moreland Avenue, exit 60. 2 right lanes are blocked there, causing a brief slow zone as you make that trek out to DeKalb County. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A mix of sun and clouds today with an isolated rain shower possible. High 86, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 87. Sunshine and hotter temperatures on Thursday, high 88.
It is 77 degrees right now in Brookhaven. Cartersville, you have 79, and it's 79 right now in East Point. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Yeah!
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Wednesday at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, previewing a dramatic day, the fired CDC director set to testify on Capitol Hill, and why Clark's excited about his next food delivery. It's got nothing to do with the food. On WSB.
I'll jump first. Nope. Then you jump first. No, I said. What's the matter with you? I can't swim.
The late, great Robert Redford and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Still to come, we'll remember the legacy of Robert Redford. Denver's got tickets to give away, and legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum live. All next on The Mark Arum Show.
Y'all, it's Eric, and summer is winding down, which means you got a great deal coming from Omaha Steaks. It's their Red Hot Sale event. You get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, because you listen to your host, Eric Erickson, you get an extra $35 off with promo code ERIC at checkout. Look, with so much happening, school is back in session, you got family in and out, you got fall weather coming, the leaves are starting to change colors. It's time to get out back, enjoy your grill without the summer heat. Go to omahasteaks.com today. You're going to get 50% off site-wide at checkout. Use promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K. Get the New York strips, by the way. Omaha Steaks, they're butcher cut, so they're hand cut. It's not machined. It's hand cut New York strips. They're fantastic. So are the fillets. Everything's great. omahasteaks.com is where you want to go. At checkout, use promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K. Get an extra $35 off. Minimum order required.
I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. I've been in banking for over 30 years, and my team and I know that businesses have the best results when they work with local bankers who know the Atlanta market, bankers who will work to understand your business operations and bring good ideas to the table. At Ameris Bank, we do that. I invite you to reach out so we can start a conversation. Visit amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Jeremiah Johnson made his way into the mountains, betting on forgetting.
You know, if you play this song loud enough in your car, Low T Chuck will run up to your car to... Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Remembering Robert Redford passed away at the age of 89. Certainly a legend in Hollywood, both in front of and behind the camera. That song, keep it playing a little bit longer. That's the theme song from Jeremiah Johnson, one of my favorite Robert Redford movies. In case you missed it, I think a couple of under-the-radar Robert Redford movies you should watch if you get a chance this week or weekend. This one, Jeremiah Johnson. Sneakers, which was kind of like a spy drama. River Phoenix was in that, and Deborah backed me up. Spy Game, maybe one of the best Redford films of all time. I love another Spy Game, CIA agent Robert Redford in that. Anyway, rest in peace. Joining us now, a lot of stuff going on in the courts today, including 2 suspected assassins. Joining us live, CBS Radio News legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum. Thane, before we get to the courts, your favorite Robert Redford role or movie, my friend?
Marky, we're always on the same page. You know what I was about to just say to you? From now on, should I call you Pilgrim?
Absolutely.
Now you have to tell your listeners that's what the other character called Jeremiah Johnson. Pilgrim.
Yeah,
he called him Pilgrim.
Right. And that the scene, I remember as the first time I watched that movie. Remember when the guy was buried up to his neck
Yes.
But I was like, oh, what the hell's going? Yeah. Anyway, fantastic movie.
I love it. Look, just quickly, I love Spy Game too. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, really good. It's always on my The Natural. And Spy Game are forever on my DVR. They're just
You
there.
know what I have my problem with The Natural, Mark? It's the novel is so different.
Yeah. Well, the ending.
The exactly the ending for sure.
Yeah. But you're right. You're right. His character Roy Hobbs was not a good dude in the novel. But,
not a good dude,
yeah.
and it's confusing when if you like the novel. It's confusing.
Good stuff, Thane. All right, so I mean, two suspected assassins in court today. Let's start with the newest case, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Two things on my calendar today. 2 p.m. Eastern, a prosecutor press conference. 5 p.m. Eastern, a court appearance. Let's start with the press conference. We're going to get to see the charging document. What are you expecting at this press conference?
Well, in Utah, Mark, they call it a criminal information. That's essentially the indictment, the charging document. At that point, the charges against him will be revealed. We expect, since the state is seeking the death penalty, that it can't be just ordinary premeditated murder. It has to be something called aggravated murder. Now, in Utah, that usually means killing of a federal official, but there are other standards, and one would be the fact that he shot into a crowd, and by shooting into a crowd, he endangered others. So there's one complication. Is this actually aggravated murder? They're going for aggravated murder because they're seeking the death penalty. They're making it harder for themselves, but at the same time, they believe that he needs to be prosecuted to the extent of the law. Now, remember, that doesn't supersede a federal case.
Correct.
Because we know in the case with the murder of the United Healthcare executive here in New York, we know that was the federal charges came first. And in that case, they were using terrorism charges in order to get to the death penalty. And guess what? Today, those charges were dismissed. So that just shows you the risk of maybe sometimes trying to go too far, because some judges step back and say, I don't think the evidence is here sufficient to establish that. And so that's what happened here in New York in federal court in connection with United Healthcare assassination. They did not see that as terrorism. What is terrorism defined as? Seeking to terrorize a group. And I think the judge is saying, I don't think that all healthcare executives are now terrorized, that was not the intention, and that's not what ultimately happened. I'm not sure a lot of people would agree with that, but that was the legal argument. In Utah, the issue is, does this constitute aggravated by simply firing into a crowd? And it might or might not. He will appear virtually at 5 p.m. Again, the charges will be read earlier, at which point he will no doubt plead not guilty. And, this long process will go on for a long time. This will not be quick. You're talking about what many people believe is a very heinous political assassination that has half the country, in great despair. And they have thousands of witnesses. There's an incredible amount of evidence that they need to go through. We're learning new things today, Mark, from the FBI director, that there are emails, text messages from him to his buddies after it happened. And he said, that was me yesterday. I'm sorry about, here's going to be a surprise, but this happened. And then he confessed to his father, but he'll no doubt plead not guilty. And he may seek a soapbox. It's one of the problems when you plead not guilty, you're hoping for your day in court. What is your day in court? I don't expect to be acquitted, but I expect to be able to speak to the country. That's what happened with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, one of the 9/11 architects. One of the reasons we never took him out of Guantanamo Bay, because we knew he wanted a soapbox.
Yeah, we didn't want to give him the platform. Yeah, exactly.
That's right. So that's what this guy's probably going to want, the same thing.
Legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. So you mentioned the evidence in the Charlie Kirk assassination. We heard from the FBI director, Kash Patel. He mentioned DNA evidence collected. We have the text messages and the Discord chat. Let's go to the confession to his father, really, which led to his capture and surrender. If he did admit this to his father, is that something the prosecutors can use as a confession?
Sure. Yeah, and I think his father's either a former police chief or a policeman of some kind.
The more interesting things that they haven't said yet, Mark. Apparently, he called a friend of his and said, "Get my gun and leave it in this certain bush," right? And he presumably never told them what it was for. But, this reminds me of what happened to the Boston Marathon bombers. I mean, people forget. Be very careful if your friends call you and ask you to do something like that, because that's exactly what happened to the younger of the two Tsarnaev brothers, where he called his roommates and he said, "There's a backpack hiding." And that backpack had all kinds of explosives in it. And they arrested the roommates. The roommates, they realized eventually what happened.
Yeah.
And instead of calling the FBI, they didn't do anything. And the next thing you know, their dorm room doors blew open and they were arrested and sentenced to some jail time. So the question here will be, are there any accomplices? Were there any people that knew anything in advance? If they knew it in advance, were they part of a conspiracy? The general rule, Mark, conspiracy is more than one person, two people have to agree to do something, right? Is it enough to just know that this was happening or know that it happened after, or do you have to actually be in a conspiracy that you agreed with being part of the plan? I suspect a lot of these people are saying, I simply got a text message. I'm not part of any plan, for God's sakes. I think what he did was horrible. So these things are going to play it out, but these are the legal issues that people can keep in their mind.
So many questions. Final question for you, Thane. This 2 p.m. Eastern press conference from the prosecutors, do you think we'll get clarity of motive today at 2 p.m. from the prosecutors?
The interesting thing is you don't need it. They'll probably make an argument that he made, the fact that the bullet said something about, fascism and something about transgender rights. And so that therefore that was motive. That's always harder to show. I think they can probably make it out here. The better element that they'll make out is something called opportunity. Why? Well, because he even told people, Kirk is coming to town and there's an opportunity. He used the word, there's an opportunity, and I would like to see him dead. That kind of language, opportunity, might be more important than motive as an element of this crime.
Thane, fantastic insight as always, my friend. And listen, keep your calendar clear because we got two big assassin trials we're going to be monitoring in the coming months and years.
I'm always happy to be on your show. You know that. Thanks,
All right,
Mark.
there you go. The legendary Thane Rosenbaum, CBS News legal analyst. Thane, always a pleasure. A great insight. Yeah, so 2 p.m., mark it on your calendars, 2 p.m. Eastern. Prosecutors hold a press conference, and then 5 p.m. Eastern. And the new news there, Deborah, was Thane says that the suspect, Tyler Robinson, will be appearing virtually. So he won't be physically in the courtroom, which I think that's new information to me. All right, before we take a break, let's give away one more pair of tickets, Deborah. What do we have now?
All right, tickets to go check out B-52s and Devo at Ameris Bank Amphitheater on October 25th.
All right, the B-52s. Vinny, let's do it again. 8th caller to 404-872-0750. 8th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see the B-52s, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and WSB. Don't forget, right after the new news, I will give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz, another chance for you to win $1,000 here on WSB. Right now, though, checking traffic 24/7, my man, Alex Williams.
Hey, Mark, right now we are watching some rolling construction on the south side perimeter, 285 eastbound, the outer loop, leaving I-675 over to Boulder Crest Road. They're in two left lanes doing some cleanup there in the median next to the concrete barrier, so just be mindful of that as they head over to Boulder Crest and Flat Shoals. Still watching the crash cleanup in East Atlanta, 20 eastbound, right around Moreland Avenue, exit number 60. That crash is in 1 to 2 right lanes, but surprisingly and luckily only causing a very brief tap of the brakes as you head out toward DeKalb County. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The FAA says the flight crew was reporting possible smoke in the flight deck.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
Beef prices are going up.
Your 24/7 news source.
They had no ties to a gang, but they were killed by them.
When you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence.
Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Let's see, it's still hot out, but football is back. That makes this September. Dave Baker here. Coolray says you can stay comfortable and watch football. They're offering up to $2,250 back in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete Carrier system. And you know proper installation is important. It's like a sidekick for your HVAC, keeping cool air in and hot air out. Call or go online at Coolray.com to book your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
At Rocco's European Garage, we take pride in providing full service and repair for any Mercedes, BMW, Porsche, Land Rover, or European vehicle. Hey, this is Rocco, and visit one of our 6 locations for top-notch customer service that includes clear upfront pricing, customer approval prior to us beginning work, and a 3-day appointment window to get you back on the road quicker. Your vehicle is fixed right the first time, and we offer shuttle service for more convenience. Always at a better value than the dealership. Visit any of our 6 locations at Rocco's European Garage.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Happy 57th birthday, Mark Anthony. 57 years old today. Deborah, he was the guy that was married to J-Lo, Mark Anthony?
Yeah.
And he starred in that Denzel Washington movie that I love, Dag Nabbit, where he was down in Mexico, Bodyguard. That one.
Okay.
That one. Anyway, he was a good actor in that, too. Dag Nabbit, what was the name? It'll come to me.
Fire?
Man on Fire. Thank you, Deborah. Good stuff. All right, more and more people think the country's on fire. More and more people want to leave the country because they think we're going off a cliff. Where are the top areas that Americans want to migrate to if they've had enough with these good United States of America, Deborah?
Okay, there's a lot of countries that you've been to, Mark, so maybe you can give some insight on
Okay.
them. But the top ones here listed are starting at number 10. There's Greece, then Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, Costa Rica. You said that you loved Costa Rica,
Did love
right?
Costa Rica, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your top 5 includes Mexico. Number 4 is Canada. Number 3, Italy. Number 2, Spain. And number 1, and then another place that you've gone to, Portugal.
I don't want to live in any of those 10.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing against them. Greece, I've never been. I would love to go. But if I'm going to live anywhere outside the United States, it's going to be in an English-speaking nation, even though I flexed my Spanish skills earlier in the show. So I'm thinking like England, Ireland, or obviously my top choice is Japan because I've got a built-in translator with Maya. I mean, I have no problem with any of those countries. But yeah, I either Japan or like England or Ireland or
Don't
Wales.
you speak Italian?
Yeah, but I wasn't fooling anyone in Italy.
Yeah, you're speaking Spanish.
Can't you use your Instagram translator?
Yeah, exactly. If that steps up the AI translation, then maybe I'll live in Greece or Costa Rica. All right, good stuff.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today's National Play-Doh Day, originally invented in 1933 by Joe McVicker as a non-toxic wallpaper cleaner, but its popularity as a children's toy surged after his sister-in-law realized its potential as modeling clay. Sold first in only off-white color, it gained massive popularity after a deal with Captain Kangaroo Show.
Oh, yeah.
And it expanded and included colors like red, yellow, and blue.
Vinny, refresh my memory. When you were a kid, did you eat Play-Doh or glue? Or paste? Play-Doh or paste? Which did you eat as a kid?
Give me the glue.
All right, Vinny's eating glue. All right, go get some
paint
Play-Doh. I need an expanded star of the show today because I have a question to ask. First off,
And now, are you guys
Deborah's
ready
getting
for the
star of the show. When I heard the Jeff Duncan announcement, I reached out to Deborah like, oh, we should try to get Lieutenant Governor on. She's like, yeah, he's already booked 9:05. Like, who does that? Deborah does that. You're phenomenal, Deborah. I have a make good, well, not a make good, but a star of the show earned after the show yesterday. Mark McKay gave me a ride home from the station because my car's still in the shop. That
shocking.
That
Oh my
shock.
gosh.
I know. It's still in there. I might have it tomorrow. Anyway, Mark took me home so I didn't have to take Uber. So I was taking Uber to work yesterday morning, Deborah. And guy driving 5.0 ratings. Like, that's perfect on the Uber ratings.
Yeah.
I get in the car, fully confident. It was not a pleasant Uber drive. Like, he was ignoring the GPS. I got to work 10 minutes later because he was just ignoring the older gentleman. Was not a good driver, period. And I'm always a 5-star, big tip kind of guy on Uber. And I was like, this was not a 5-star ride. Like, this was 4 at best. Like, I arrived alive. That gets you a 4.
I'm a better driver.
But you are a better driver than that dude. Longoria is a better driver than that dude. Like, I got to work 10 minutes later because he wasn't. Anyway, I haven't rated him yet or tipped him yet because I don't want to mess. You guys got a 5.0 rating. Yeah, I got a 4.94, which is good. I don't want to be the guy that. So do I just not rate him, not tip him? What do I do, Deborah?
I mean, I would definitely. See, I always feel obligated to tip. Like, they still picked you up, they still got you to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Like that. I would still tip him, but maybe give him a 4 rating.
But then I ruin his perfect
know.
game. He's pitching a
That's-
perfect.
well,
I bet
he
you that's
didn't
what
drive
everybody's
perfect, yeah.
done. Everybody's probably
You and your
thought
pity
like,
stars.
yeah,
Someone's got to burst the bubble.
Yeah.
All right.
What if they're all?
Well, I'm going to
afraid
go
of him?
1 then. I mean, if I'm breaking the 5, I'm just going to give him a 1 then.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm really going to smash that glass ceiling. All right. Thank you, Deborah. Star of the show today, smiling yesterday. Sorry for that Uber dude. I'm about to burst your bubble. Your 5.0 will no longer be in existence and by the time I give the keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. Social media is active at Mark Arum. Stephen Lawson, political analyst, live tomorrow on the big Jeff Duncan announcement. I'll be up on social media at Mark Arum throughout the day. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday, Atlanta.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.